game. Just a reminder, the Rivalry Series is a doubleheader here on this Friday evening. Both the Team USA men's and women's national teams in action. The women's, of course, in front of us right now, and the men at 7 o'clock tonight here on Home Team Network as Sarah Parker gets rid of it quickly on first down, and it's complete up the middle for a modest gain.
Also in the flag game, until that flag is pulled, you can reach the ball out and the coverage or the yards will count if you stick that football out to gain more yardage there. So nice play to be able to get just a couple extra.
Player in motion for Canada. Here comes the rush. Hernandez Silva applying pressure on Parker. And Alexandre Fournier making the catch along the near sideline, stops short of midfield.
Nice catch right there. We've got a fourth down, fourth and short. We'll see what they choose to do. U.S. been playing a fair share of man, so can you find a play, a man beater, to be able to get this thing open and complete it for a first down? This is a big down right here for the U.S.
You hear the crowd in the background urging on Team USA to get a stop. Rifled up the middle. And the catch is made by Alexandre Fournier, sprinting for a first down deep into U.S. territory.
There you see Fournier ran a stop route right there in front of the defense. She parked in front of the defensive back, and when you miss that flag pull, that's the thing about man coverage. If you miss that, there's not much out there to be able to help you. Oh, Mariah Gordon right there made a slight mistake. And if you're Canada, if you can get up 2 scores right now, I don't think you could have wished for a better scenario to start this ball game.
Brianna Hernandez Silva raising her hand as the designated rusher. Parker from the gun, rifles it up the middle, catch made for another Team Canada completion.
A little bit of pre-snap motion right there by Canada to try to figure out what the coverage is early. Goes to another short route. They are knocking on the door, Kyle, and I can hear it good. I can hear that knock real good. I can even see them on the ring cam right now. That's how close they are.
About midway through first half action here at Dignity Health Sports Park, home of the LA Galaxy. But this weekend, the USA Rivalry Series on a Friday night. There's a dump off, front corner of the end zone. 12-0 Canada. But a flag down on the field.
Marianne Kitillon right there. She ran right to the pylon, turned around, and it will count. It was a penalty on the defense, and now if you're the U.S., you are down 2 scores. And for Higa and that U.S. offense, they've got their work cut out for them as they will get the football back. But first, they've got to stop Canada from getting this conversion. Let's see if they can put another 2 on the board, because they are hot right now, Kyle.
The Americans in an early hole, 12-0. Team Canada has come out firing and scored on their first 2 possessions. Their first conversion attempt failed minutes ago. They'll go for it again. Back of the end zone, over the top. Fournier keeps her feet in bounds. And that time, the Canadians cash in. What a start for Rachel Lessard's group.
She had a couple of options right there, had double out routes. Levels concept there, 1 out route high, 1 low, but she chooses to hit the one in the back of the end zone because she also had the short out route available to her as well. So this U.S. defense, they've got some things to figure out as well, because it looks like Canada learned a whole lot in that joint practice.
13-0. The Americans find themselves in an early predicament here. Here's Higa back out for a second drive. And she rifles it along the near sideline. Catch made by number 23, Izzy Geraci. Sure-handed, world champion with Team USA, as Wes said, a former Division I basketball player at both Cleveland State and USC Upstate. She has an abundance of athleticism.
If there's one thing about Akemi Higa, you're never going to know if they're down 13 or up 13. She's going to maintain the same demeanor. She's being tested right now as a first-time quarterback for Team USA football.
Here's Higa again on second down. Up the middle, a bullet to Macy Johnsich. And a first down for the Americans. Macy Johnsich, the youngest player on a Team USA World Championship roster. Aside from Akemi Higa, Macy Johnsich was the baby of this team before Akemi Higa came along. Doncic was the Nevada 4A Player of the Year. Over 7,200 yards and 102 touchdowns for her career. Absolutely dynamic player now at Cal Poly. First down. Motion from Brooklyn Hill. Deep ball near sideline. The catch just short of the goal line, but my goodness, what a play. Kennedy Foster going up and getting it. First and goal, Team USA flag.
Akemi Higa continues to attack this Canada secondary. What a catch right there. When you look at Foster, your quarterback, you guys need a score. You need to get on the board. That's what you want from your receiver. Make a play for your quarterback. She went up, spectacular grab.
Bunch formation in the middle. Kennedy Foster split out wide. Let's see if they give her a shot. Higa surveying, going to the opposite side, and just overthrows her receiver, but a flag flies in. That ball was intended for Geraci, and that flag came in just a little bit late.
Yeah, and Higa, if you look at the play, she had Doncic open on that old Wes Welker route. She went in, went inside, came back outside. She was wide open. So Higa right there missed an opportunity to get the U.S. on the board. They're cranking the music up. This is an environment, Kyle.
You better believe it. We have players from the Select Bowl, the Junior International Cup. Those will be played tomorrow and Sunday here at Dignity Health Sports Park. But so many of these young athletes, of course, look up to the women on Team USA flag. They and their parents and their supporters and just fans here in Southern California have shown up in droves here at Dignity Health Sports Park. There's a pitch and an easy score for the Americans. Izzy Geraci snaps it, turns, and receives a gift from Akemi Higa. And for the first time, the Americans find pay dirt.
Always think of the center as the wild card on the offense, because not only do they have to get the snap right, but you got to be looking for them when they come off the ball. And in a scenario like that, when it's short yardage, they can quickly get open, and that's exactly what you saw.
That was actually Geraci lined up in the slot right there.
Sorry
next to Clam. No, you're fine. Macy Joncic to snap it here on the conversion attempt. It's 13-6. The Americans have cut it back to one score and trying to tack on one more. Higa, a missile to the near sideline. Catch is made and she's in. Who else? Izzy Geraci there to make the grab.
I mean, that was a throw on a frozen rope right there. She showed off her arm strength right there. Akemi Higa bouncing back. She's answering Team Canada. Now the pressure goes back to the Canadians. What can they do now as the U.S. feels like they're starting to get their legs under them? It looks like they have now settled into this football game.
So number 11, Sarah Parker, leads the offense back out. Still with a 6-point advantage. Parker on first down, gets rid of it quickly. And it's complete out to number 10, Marion Quirion.
Yeah, Kyle, I think now we've gotten rid of the nerves. I think each team has settled into this football game. As Ray Lewis once said, now let's play football.
Rachel Lessard, head coach of Team Canada, has been at it coaching in the sport for 29 years. She's a defensive specialist, but she will readily admit that 1 or 2 stops a game can win you a ball game in flag football. Look at that right there. Great defensive play right in front of us by number 8, Lauren Goodwin. Former Division I basketball player, former first team All Big 12 at Oklahoma State. Also stops at Butler and UTSA. Was drafted by the Dallas Wings in the WNBA draft back in 2018. Second round pick. A lot of basketball transition on this Team USA squad, Wes. Here's third down. Parker picked off. Number 2, Ashley Edwards, the San Antonio native, the oldest player on the roster at 36 years old, comes flying in. And we have our first interception of the game.
Well, we saw the previous play where Goodwin was able to read that corner route and get out in front of it. And right there, we saw once again the U.S., they were ready for what Team Canada had to bring. She set on that route and was ready for it, intercepted it. Now let's see what the U.S. can do as we get a quarterback change.
The Americans were in trouble just minutes ago. And now an opportunity to tie it up. Quarterback change. Valentina Finetti fires to Madison Fulford. Fulford evading defenders, picks up a few extra.
Now the U.S. came out of some of those condensed formations that they were running earlier. They're spreading things out a bit more, letting their athletes do the work, and we know what Madison Fulford can do. She is absolutely spectacular. She makes her presence felt right there with a nice catch and got some yak right there.
The Charlotte, North Carolina native.
Yes, sir.
And United States Air Force veteran Madison Fulford sets her team up, 2nd down and goal. Here's Finetti into the end zone. Flag flies in late, targeting Fulford again. And Fulford telling Valentina Finetti, should have caught that, but was also asking for the flag, and she got it.
That's a tough position right there for a defensive back. For Rosalie Landry right there, because that ball was behind. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that call because she had to get in there to try to break it up. So I think the U.S. was fortunate right there to get the call to go their way.
Certainly a bang-bang play.
Yeah, when the ball is behind like that and you're a defensive back, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to get in there and try to rip that football out. And I think that also when you throw the ball behind the receiver, it's going to create natural contact. So that makes it a little bit tough.
Timeout taken on the field by Rachel Lessard and Team Canada. Just a reminder, each team gets 2 timeouts per half. Unused timeouts do not carry over into the second half. Timeouts not allowed to exceed 90 seconds. There is a 25-second play clock here in international flag football. And already in a fast-paced game, we are approaching the waning moments of the first half. Inside of 3 minutes to play. Here's Finetti. Finds a crossing. Madison Fulford for a Team USA flag touchdown. Madison Fulford showing up big time. And the Americans have an opportunity to tie it up.
Fulford runs a dig route right there, breaks it to the inside. That time there was no debate. She created all the separation that she needed as she was able to snatch that football.
Again, Madison Fulford, 31 years old, obviously in impeccable shape. Her attitude is, I've got to make this team each and every year. We've talked about it off the air. She is committed, she is devoted, she has an eye toward the Olympics, and she is playing accordingly. Here's Finetti on the conversion attempt and a big defensive stop by the Canadians. That ball was intended for Macy Johnsich. The pass breakup.
Small opportunity right there for Canada to slow down the momentum because the U.S. now, we've seen Uncle Mo, we know what it can do in a football game, and it has rotated to both sides in this first half. So now what can Canada do as the U.S. has seized momentum of this football game?
Here's Sarah Parker and Team Canada back at it. And on first down, an immediate completion out to Emma Racine. Nice pickup on first. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant here with you on Home Team Network, live from Dignity Health Sports Park, home of the LA Galaxy. Also home of the 2026 World Cup. This city is buzzing this week. And USA Football Summer Series is a big reason why. Here's 2nd down. Parker. That ball thrown behind. Incomplete.
Frederique Morneau right there. She was looking for her. Threw it a bit behind her. Got to make sure on those shorter routes, accuracy is the key. Make sure you get the football in, give your receiver a chance to be able to run after the catch.
Frederique Morneau, one of the many Team Canada players from Quebec, as Alexandre Fournier makes the grab after a gain of a few. That'll bring up 4th down. And an interesting decision here for the Canadians. Clearly they're going for it. It's a dangerous spot here. You have to get across midfield to pick up that fresh set of downs. Interesting to see what Rachel Lessard draws up right here.
Yeah, 1:30 to go. I know that they want to be able to try to get another score on the board before they go in. But first you got to convert this.
From the gun, here comes the pressure. Ball's out just in time. Fournier makes the catch just across midfield. It's a 1st down, Team Canada.
U.S. fell asleep right there. Fournier was sitting right there, wide open. Easy conversion right there.
So inside of 90 seconds to play here. 14-13 our score. If you're just tuning in, Team Canada marched down the field on the first drive of the game. Scored a touchdown, but failed on the conversion attempt to make it 6-0. The Americans failed to score on their opening drive, and then Canada promptly answered with another touchdown and a conversion to make it 13-0, 14-0 that is. The Americans with back-to-back scores have cut the deficit to 1.
Yeah, had to come from behind, down 13 early, showing a lot of resilience, not letting the early mistakes hold them back, and they've answered quite well.
Second down. And as Parker lets go of the football, whistles come in, a flag on the field. And this one will go against the U.S. Offsides is the call. And that'll be a 5-yard penalty. They stick around. Coming up at halftime, a special guest and a new addition to the USA football team. He's no stranger to football, Marcel Reese, former 4-time Pro Bowl fullback in the National Football League. Now the Senior Vice President of Football Strategy and Operations here with USA Football. As there's a catch on second down and a nice gain for the Canadians. Caroline Mukan-Joubert making the grab.
Look at Kyle getting international right there. The pronunciations are on point. Sounds like he's a French-Canadian as well.
The head official signaling 50 seconds remaining here in the opening half. Again, these two teams in a spirited joint practice earlier this week ahead of tonight's game. Reminiscent of the NFL. Training camps are just around the corner. Joint practices are just around the corner.
Yeah.
These two teams doing the same this week. And again, all of this is in advance of the World Championships coming up in August in Dusseldorf, Germany. That's one thing about these flag football athletes. They are very well traveled in their competition. Chengdu, China, Dusseldorf, Germany. They play in Panama. This has truly become a global game.
Are you brushing up the speed on your German, Kyle?
No. No, I think that's beyond my capabilities.
Only thing you know is beer.
Das Boot? I am aware of Das Boot. Not the meaning, though.
Yeah.
50 seconds to play. Third down for Team Canada. Formation overloaded to the right side. Parker pump fakes. Wide open receiver in the end zone. Alexandre Fournier running wild, secures the catch. Puts 6 on the board for the Canadians. It's 20-13.
Canadians ran an awesome route combination right there. Gave you a little bit of a scissor action.
It's a well-designed
double
play.
Corner routes going in each direction. Got the U.S. defense to commit to one, not the other. Open. Listen, man, this Canadian offense, they've gotten it together, and I think they've gotten back some of the momentum that they lost. This is going to be a heck of a second half.
London Jenkins raising her hand as the Americans' designated rusher. Here she comes. That ball floated back in the end zone. What a grab. Mukan-Joubert showing off the hands. The conversion is good, and the Canadians extend the lead back to 8.
Right there, Team Canada. They had double out routes, and the U.S. was all over it, but not able to make the stop. I mean, that is one heck of a catch with coverage draped all over her by Mukan-Joubert.
And the Americans back at it. Deep ball. Look at Madison Fulford. The concentration in the middle of 3 Canadian defenders. Fulford keeps her eyes on it, secures it, and a huge first down play sets up Team USA flag. First down in enemy territory, and we've got a player down for Team Canada.
And before we could even blink, USA going right back up the field with a huge play, but we hate that we had an injury to be a part of this play. These athletes are competing so hard.
The players will retreat to their respective sidelines. The Americans taking a knee. Let's take a look at this play here. Look at Madison Fulford. We have seen her make some unbelievable contested catches in her career. Right there, you see it again. Defender flying in, 2 others in the neighborhood. But that's her specialty. She scored all 4 U.S. touchdowns in the 2023 America's Championship gold medal game. Finished that tournament with 33 catches, 578 yards, 14 touchdowns. Led Team USA flag in receiving at the 2024 World Championships. And you and I both know already, but her childhood hero as a Charlotte, North Carolina native was Agent 89, Steve Smith, and he would have been proud of that play right there.
Yes, she certainly would have been, and you can see a lot of that in her game. She loves to rack up the yak. Yak queen, we can call her.
First down, now it's Macy Johnsich, the signal caller for the Americans, finds Fulford again, and Fulford getting busy on these last 2 drives.
I mean, Fulford is making her living on that dig route. She's breaking to the inside, and hey, she might be one of the older players out here, but she is certainly one of the most athletic. They cannot stop her on those in-breaking routes, man. This is a veteran receiver. Route queen, we can call her that too.
And a timeout taken by the Americans to talk it over with seconds remaining. They trail by 8, knocking on the door of the goal line. And you'd have to believe if they can score here, they likely will attempt a 2-point conversion to try to tie this game up.
No question about it. You don't want to go into the half. And also, I was going to say, you don't want to go into the half, trailing. But if you're the U.S., you're going to get the football coming out in the second half. So you get a chance to double dip here where you can get a score, come right back out, and score again.
You see the recent history between these 2 teams. The U.S. beating Canada 39-31 in the World Games. The IFAF Continentals, Canadian women taking silver and the U.S. taking bronze. That's a real point of pain for Team USA flag. They'll tell you all about that. And then, of course, the SNF Sunday Night Football halftime showcase in Buffalo last October. The Americans winning that 12-6 in a truncated game, although it was in front of 70,000 captive fans at Highmark Stadium in Buffalo as the Bills and Patriots were getting together that evening. As here's Johnsich. Back of the end zone, a sliding catch attempt by Kennedy Foster, but they're saying that it's incomplete.
I know that Foster wishes they had a replay system out here. That was a low ball to the ground. She got up under it. Let's see on the replay. Maybe we can see if she was able to get up under it enough. She may or may not. That's a tough angle to see it from right there. So the referee made the best call that they knew how to make.
Still 2 downs remaining for the Americans, though. 3rd down coming up right here. Fulford, Foster, and Geraci to the left side of the formation, and Johnsich has to spike it as there was immediate pressure in her face.
Oh, what a play we have setting up right here, Kyle. 4th down. That play right there, Canada was able to get enough pressure. She didn't have anybody open, and Tom had to ground it. This is a gigantic play right here for the Canada defense.
Jessica Bossy-Tompin applying the pressure that time. 27 years old, former track and field athlete. 3rd year as a part of Team Canada. And as Wes just said, critical 4th down coming up here for the Americans. Trailing 21-13. And Johnsich from the gun. Here comes the pressure. Just gets rid of it, finds Fulford, streaking across to the far side, makes the grab, in for the touchdown. 21-19, extra point pending. And after a sluggish start, the Americans have found their groove offensively.
Pre-snap coverage right there. U.S. sends out some motion, dictates that it's man. Fulford right there, once again, just picking a direction on her defender, taking a side, and she's just a step quicker. What a throw as well, on the move. And she just throws her hand up because nobody can stop her, and she doesn't understand why anybody's trying to guard her.
From the 10-yard line, the Americans will go for 2 and attempt to tie it up. Johnsich to the goal line, dropped. It was there, but Izzy Geraci couldn't hang on. The score remains 21-19.
Tough catch, gotta bring that in. Those 2 points, you never know how those could come back to affect this football game. And there's still a little bit of time for Team Canada. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be right here.
And a great job on that drive by Jessica Bossy-Tompin, the rusher for Team Canada. Very aggressive, very active on that drive. The Americans still managing to score, but certainly under duress as there's a low snap. hit the turf. Where were her feet when that ball hit the turf? Looks like she was just outside the goal line, fortunately for Team Canada. And that'll be a lost down. Brings up second.
Saw Team USA right there on the sidelines. They were gesturing. They wanted that safety, but it was not to be. Team Canada saved themselves from almost making a huge mistake.
Parker deep in her own end zone, takes the snap. Here comes the pressure. Dumps it off, finds Marion Quirion. And Quirion picks up a couple, has her flag pulled, and immediately the Canadians burn their second time out of the half.
3 seconds to go right here. I would think that the U.S. would get in perhaps a cover 3 to try to keep from getting beat deep here, because that's the only way you could get hurt if you are Team USA football.
So with 2 seconds left on the clock, you'd have to believe this will be a shot at or near the end zone. No laterals are allowed in 5-on-5 IFAF governed flag football. There are other variations of this sport, like the NCAA level, 7-on-7, where you can lateral the football, but not in 5s. So we'll see what Rachel Lessard and her offensive staff come up with right here. Here's Parker, dumps it off quickly to Quirion. Quirion sprints across midfield, but it looks like the flag was pulled just short of midfield. And the clock expires, 21-19, 40 combined points in the opening half, and Team Canada takes a 2-point advantage into halftime. When we return, a newcomer for USA football, Marcel Reese, 4-time Pro Bowler, but now part of the family, will join us for a quick conversation on the other side. It's the USA Football Rivalry Series, live from Southern California.
The Stars and Stripes Fund turns dreams into reality by supporting Team USA Football and the National Team Development Program. It powers every step of an athlete's journey, from training to competition, and opens doors for more athletes to pursue their Olympic dreams. Your support helps maintain the gold standard and develop future champions. Together, we're building more than a team, we're building the future. Join us at usafootball.com/donate to learn more.
Before America's favorite sport is played in stadiums or seen on TV, it's played in backyards, streets, and parks for fun. It's open to anyone who wants to play. And we're making it safer by training coaches and creating game types for every body. There's a place in football for all of us. When you're ready to move from the backyard to the field, go to usafootball.com/leaguefinder.
You coming back right now?
Welcome back to Southern California, Dignity Health Sports Park, home of the LA Galaxy, but this weekend home of the USA Football Rivalry Series here on a Friday evening. 21-19, Team Canada with a 2-point advantage at the break. Second half action coming up here in just a few minutes. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant, and now joined by Marcel Reese, former 4-time Pro Bowler in the National Football League, but also these days a Senior Vice President of Football Strategy and Operations with USA Football. Marcel, it's good to have you, buddy. How are you?
It's good to be on. I appreciate you guys. It's a great day today, right? It's beautiful out here. We got some football. It's entertaining. Can't beat it.
The weather's perfect, no doubt about it.
So you and I got a chance to chat a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
You played in the NFL for a long time. You've been working in the NFL, but now you're a member of the USA Football team. What drew you to this organization, and why are you here now?
It's a game of football, and this is a different discipline of football. Now, for us, as tackle football players, when we think of flag, oh, let's take the big uglies, take the linemen out of there, and we go play Scully. This is different. 5-on-5 flag football is a different discipline. It's a different strategy. There's a high football IQ required and a different skill set. So I gained an incredible amount of respect for these athletes, and watching them in person, I had to be a part of it, see how I can impact it with my experiences, bring it to flag, and try and help it grow.
Marcel, with you being a former NFLer, what were your thoughts on the way that they were able to perform against actual NFL All-Stars?
I told my guys in the NFL, these are my friends, ex-teammates, ex-opponents. y'all don't got a chance. This is different. And for NFL players, you need time to acclimate to that. As elite athletes, we can acclimate really fast. But you can't just come on the flag field, strap flags around your waist, and think you are going to dominate in this game, especially not for a full game. Maybe for a play, but not for a full game. It's a different discipline, and you have to respect this game and the process that goes in it. Time on task is everything.
So you're new to the organization. You are anything but new to football. What is your vision for growing the game, growing the organization, and moving this sport and USA football forward?
It's really about participation. Once we have the participation, we can find elite athletes to compete, right? Broaden the talent pool for 505 flag football and get everyone involved with Team USA. Because USA football is everything. We are the standard in flag football, and we want to broaden that talent pool for Americans and get everyone involved, because this game is extremely approachable. We can find talent transfer in all other sports, basketball, soccer, you're talking about women's basketball. In all these sports, there's talent transfer, and it's going to make the game extremely competitive, and our job's hard to pick 10 players for the Olympics.
Marcel, what would you tell the parent that's thinking about putting their child in flag football? What would your advice be to them?
This is the best way to start. Go to usafootball.com, get signed up, get identified, create an ID for USA Football, and then you can start going. Because once we start that process, you are in our game, you are in our talent pool, and in the pipeline.
There you go. Second half action about to start right here at Dignity Health Sports Park. Marcel, it was great to see you, my friend.
Appreciate you guys for
Enjoyed
having
it,
me
man.
on. You guys doing a great job. Go
soon.
USA.
Heck of a handshake.
Absolutely.
Right.
Vice grip from Marcel Reese there. Former full-time Pro Bowler. Man, looks like he could still play today. Not the least shocking thing on earth. We've got Team USA and Team Canada back on the field. Second half action coming up momentarily. We'll step aside. It's 21-19. The Canadians on top here from Dignity Health Sports Park on Home Team Network.
The Stars and Stripes Fund turns dreams into reality by supporting Team USA Football and the National Team Development Program. It powers every step of an athlete's journey, from training to competition, and opens doors for more athletes to pursue their Olympic dreams. Your support helps maintain the gold standard and develop future champions. Together, we're building more than a team, we're building the future. Join us at usafootball.com/donate to learn more.
(21-19) here at halftime. Team Canada leading Team USA flag in the USA Football Rivalry Series here on Home Team Network. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant bringing you all the action. Again, big thanks to Marcel Reese, former four-time Pro Bowl fullback in the NFL. We don't get to talk about fullbacks many more often these days, but boy, Marcel Reese was a good one back in the day.
No doubt about it. Anytime you can make the Pro Bowl 4 times, and that is a position that is just pure physicality. I just used to always look at those guys and wonder, how do they do it? I mean, that is one position that you got to bring your hard hat on every single play.
Now the Senior Vice President of Football Strategy and Operations for USA Football. This organization is growing. They have newfound support, major investments by the likes of Mark Cuban and Aaron Rodgers. And look at Akemi Higa going up top to Madison Fulford. Hit her in the hands, couldn't hang on, and Fulford pounds the turf before she pops up to run back to the huddle. And there's Akemi Higa on her third offensive possession of the day, showing off that arm again.
I mean, we knew she was a star because we've seen her the last couple of years. But when you talk about a quarterback that is just coming out with zero fear in this matchup, it is Akemi Higa. She is going right down the field. That was right off of the fingertips of Fulford, but she's been attacking since this game has begun.
Madison Fulford, a trusted target, as we've been discussing for Team USA flag. It's here on second down. Higa looking over the middle. That was nearly intercepted, intended for number 23, Izzy Geraci, but she couldn't hang on. That'll bring up third down.
And that's what sometimes that cannon of an arm can get you in a little bit of trouble right there. She had the short route right there in front of her, Should have been an easy completion, but the timing off, she was just a little bit ahead, bounced off the fingertips. That could have been dangerous. That could have been an interception for Team Canada.
Izzy Geraci, a former state placer in both high jump and long jump. She has the requisite athleticism, and look at that. There's Higa again, trying to drop it in over defenders. Looking for Macy Johnson, but tipped away, incomplete.
Katrine Goman right there on the coverage. This is huge now, because when you miss that deep ball on first down, now you've got a long way to go to get the first down. As you see Team Canada, they've got all their defenders right there at the first down marker. So it'll be interesting to see how the U.S. tries to be able to infiltrate and get that first down, because you've gotten 3 incompletions in a row now for Team USA.
Let's see what Saeed Mortazavi and his assistant coaches, Matt Hernandez and MK Beach, have for this particular situation. 4th down and a country mile to go. Here's Higa from the gun, throws back to Johnson. Johnson turns it loose into defenders, incomplete. And that was number 22, Mikael Azar.
Right there, Team Canada, they had it all sewn up. If they could do the strap motion like you're putting on a seatbelt, they do that. They just sat back in that zone. The U.S., they tried a little trickery, double QB action right there. But Canada was sitting on everything. They had everything covered on the back end. Great stop by Team Canada.
Massive stop, as Wes said, for the Canadians, leading 21-19. And a new quarterback out there for Rachel Lessard. Number 2, Elizabeth Ashkar will lead the offense to start the second half. And we were told about this ahead of time. This is a real rivalry between the Americans and the Canadians. However, it is a tune-up ahead of the World Championships in August. So both teams expected to get important reps for some of their younger players. There's Ashkar on 2nd down, rifles it out to the near side, and that time catch made by Laura Molimar. But a flag comes in late along the near sideline.
I think the U.S. might have gotten a little bit too much contact there, perhaps. Not sure. But Canada right now, they've got to take advantage of this momentum that they've earned through that defensive stop and try to put some distance between themselves and USA and really apply the pressure, because this is the second half, Kyle Bailey. So if the U.S. gets down 2 scores here, they're really going to have their work cut out for them.
That was a 5-yard defensive penalty against the Americans. Moves the Canadians near midfield. Ashkar on 1st down, across midfield, and complete to Molimar again.
Threw a dart right there into a tight window to get that first down as Team Canada continues to roll down the field.
Laura Molimar, 22 years old, from Quebec. Played competitive soccer until she was 18 years old, made the switch to flag football. It's her 2nd year representing Team Canada at the international level. Here's 1st down for the Canadians. There's Kirion making the catch on the crossing route. Gain of about 10 yards and brings up 2nd down for Canada.
She found a spot right in that U.S. defense right there, made herself available to her quarterback, hauled in the reception, got a little bit of yak after the play. You see it, little out-breaking route there after the stop. Nice play.
Here's Ashkar on 2nd down, another out route to the far side. A flag comes in late.
Another penalty by the U.S. A little bit too much contact right there by Nikita Christopher. She was in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and the U.S. now, that's 2 penalties on this drive. That is not what you want.
Number 15, Caroline Moukan-Joubert, the recipient.
Oh, it's actually on Canada, so they'll walk it back.
Our officials are not mic'd up here this Friday evening, so you'll have to bear with us. We await word from the field live before we can communicate that to you. But as Wes said, an offensive penalty against the Canadians that time. Looked like a bit of a push-off potentially.
That's a big penalty right there. That really hurts their drive as they lose a lot of yardage right there. Takes them back almost to 1st down territory, to midfield. That's not what you want.
It's a 2-point game.
That's what you would call getting behind the chains in a major way.
Team Canada, once again, starting the half a bit hotter than the Americans, but the penalty moves them back to midfield. Here comes pressure. Ashkar gets away and fires errantly, incomplete. And that time it was number 22, Kendra Meredith, screaming in with the blitz.
And let's take some time here to point out just how important the rushers are. We know pass rush is important. In tackle football, it's huge here in flag. She was able to get the quarterback off of her spot and caused an errant throw there. That's a win for the defense every single time.
Spread formation for Canada. Quick hitter to the near side. It's number 3, Julian Fortin, who makes the catch that time with a pickup of about 10 yards.
And they turn it over on downs, and the U.S. gets a big stop right here. And now they have a chance to seize control of this matchup and take a lead.
Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant with you. As the American offense takes the field again, we are watching the American men and the Canadian men warming up, as this is a doubleheader. The men will take the field immediately following the conclusion of this game, as they're on first down for the Americans, incomplete, intended for Brooklyn Hill. And it looked that time like Hill tried to get upfield before she secured the catch.
That's 5 straight incompletions for Team USA football right there. They got to get a couple of things on the books just to get a little bit of good vibes going on this drive, because they haven't completed a pass in a little while now.
Johnsich to snap it. Geraci and Foster along with Brooklyn Hill. Look at Brooklyn Hill laying out, trying to make a diving catch along the near sideline, but falls incomplete. Great effort from Hill that time, but the throw off the mark.
I don't want to start the counter here, but that's now 6 straight incompletions for the U.S. now. And now you've gotten 2 to start this drive. So now you've got to get 25 yards in 2 plays here. So now you're going to have to be a little bit more strategic and tone down some of that aggression.
Speaking of aggression, Brooklyn Hill, Milwaukee native. Her brother Thomas is a professional boxer. As here's Higa, throws across her body, finds Johnsich. Johnsich tries to get away from a couple of Canadian defenders, picks up a few extra yards. And a nice gain on 3rd down to set up a much more manageable 4th down attempt coming up right here.
Yeah, much more manageable. We'll see what Canada decides to do, because you're in a dangerous territory here, because the U.S., you've got a few options in your playbook with the short distance to be able to get this. Do you want to try to go deep here, or do you simply just get the 1st down?
Brooklyn Hill, Macy Johnsich, Izzy Geraci, Kennedy Foster out there with Akimi Higa. Higa takes the snap, moves right over the top, finds Geraci. Geraci off to the races. Touchdown. Izzy Geraci, one of the young faces of flag football, showing off the hands, winning a foot race, and the Americans on top for the first time this evening, 25-21.
And if you're a fan of Team Canada, that is exactly what you fear right there. Runs that post route and is able to catch it, and she did the rest. As we see another replay, Higa rolls out to her right, fires it down the field, perfectly placed right there. Nice touchdown for Team USA football. What a play, what a call, because that was risky. You don't get that one. That's another turnover on downs, but they decided to trust their quarterback.
Now the U.S. will go for 2. Higa back of the end zone to a wide open Izzy Geraci, and it's 27-21. The Americans extend their lead to 6. Akimi Higa, the 17-year-old gunslinger, set a Nevada single-season record with 7,000 yards and 121 touchdowns. Playing at Desert Oasis High School out there in Vegas. She has led her team back. And now Canada trailing for the first time today, led by Ashkar, on the move immediately. Alexandre Fournier makes a 1st down grab and a gain of about 10.
And now how do the Canadians react now to some adversity now for them, as they have now lost the lead? USA feels like they are in control of this. So how does Canada respond? Football is all about responding, Kyle.
Bunch formation in the middle. Here's Ashkar, pressure coming, rifles it over the middle. What a catch by Alexandre Fournier.
Fournier has been the answer to the question all day for Canada. She has come up with play after play. For the U.S., they've gotten it done with multiple weapons. But when you look at Fournier, And Canada has had some other players step up as well, but Fournier has been the top target for them, and she's come through every time they've called upon her.
Elizabeth Ashkar, who took over at quarterback to start the second half, an aerospace engineering student when she's not playing flag football. She's going up top and overthrows a streaking Alexandre Fournier in the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, right there, she had a step on the defender, but it was just a little bit too far.
And a flag down as well. See what the call is. It'll go against the Americans. That'll be a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down for Team Canada. Clock moving, inside of 9 minutes left to play here. We are on the road to LA 28, the Olympics, right here in Los Angeles, where flag football will make its Olympic debut. You and I were talking about this here at this very spot 2 years ago. We are now 2 years closer. Many of the women you're watching out here today will be competing for Olympic gold 2 years from now. Ashkar evading defenders, finally gets rid of it. And was looking for number 9, Emma Racine, but she was double covered. The throw was high, it's incomplete, and brings up second down.
Yeah, and when you look at London Jenkins right there, she did not give up pursuit. She stayed on top of her, and even though she wasn't able to pull the flag, she was still able to force an incompletion. I told you, when you're a defense, can you continually stack negative plays against the offense up during the game? And if you can do that, you've got a great chance to emerge victorious.
Second down, cluster formation. 3 players around the football for Team Canada. Ashkar going up top, wide open receiver, touchdown, Frederique Morneau. And we'll have to check the replay on this. Somehow, some way, she got lost in the shuffle and ended up wide open for a Canadian touchdown.
It looked like there was some confusion right there, as the U.S. only had 1 high safety. They ran a flood concept with an out route and a corner route right there, and the corner was wide open there. They really caught the U.S. in the right defense for what they wanted to do. Only 1 safety deep. There was no way to stop that.
Tied at 27. Here comes the 1-point conversion attempt for the Canadians. Ashkar, double clutches, gets rid of it. And incomplete, intended for Fournier at the front of the end zone. And we remain gridlocked at 27 apiece.
I mean, if this is an indicator of what we're going to get all weekend, how much more could you ask for?
Take a look at that. You and I got a chance to stop by the VIP section.
Yeah.
That's what you're watching at home right now.
Enjoying some filet mignon sliders, some lobster corn dogs. How fancy corn dogs right there. I never had that before.
Filet mignon cheeseburgers, Nashville hot chicken sliders.
Yes.
Garlic flatbread pizzas. They've got it all over there in the VIP section. You and I got a chance to taste test a bit. Is right there on first down. Higa finds Geraci for a nice gain on first down.
And if they should so choose to have an adult beverage, that is available to them as well.
And on this drive, Ashley Clam is back out there. Number 32 was the recently named 2026 NAIA National Player of the Year at Kaiser University down in Florida. 3-time captain of that team, led the nation with 27 touchdowns receptions as a freshman. As Higa finds Clam, the aforementioned, across midfield she goes for a Team USA flag first down.
I mean, Kimmy Higa, when she sits back in the pocket, just true quarterback play, because she is going to hang in there until the very last minute until she gets what she wants. And that's why we've seen the deep shots. And that's why you've seen a little bit of the incompletion sometimes, because she wants a little bit too much, can get a little bit greedy. But she's going to stand in there the whole time. There's not going to be a ton of movement back there. She's going to hang in the pocket to the very last second to be able to find one of these great USA athletes.
Now in plus territory, here's Higa on first down. Pressure coming, going up top, looking for Clam, but ran out of real estate as the ball sails out of bounds, and that brings up second down.
Right there, ran out of real estate. Can't knock him for trying. She was also bracketed up over there. That was a tough throw. You had somebody over the top, bracket coverage, over the top and underneath right there. So I think that would have been a tough completion no matter what, and could have potentially been an interception had it stayed a little bit more in bounds.
We are building toward a dramatic finish here in Carson, California. 27 all. The United States and Canada now approaching 4 minutes left to play. Second down. Here's Higa. Pump fakes. Just gets rid of it. Looking for Fulford. A bit too strong. Incomplete. Not a bad throw from Higa that time. But Fulford couldn't bring it in. Two Canadian defenders in the neighborhood.
You had a little bit of what you would call a couple of out routes. Going to the outside, and then they tried to run that post over the top.
And on a 50 by 25 field with these kind of athletes, space closes quickly.
No doubt about it. So you've got to be very intentional with where you want to go with the football and how you're going to get it there. You've got to have your timing down.
Third down, Kennedy Foster, Clam, Geraci and Fulford on the field. Higa elects for Ashley Clam, and Clam loses her feet, falling out of bounds. Modest gain on third down will bring up fourth down from the 10-yard line for the U.S.
Kyle, they always talk about 2 to 3 plays determining a football game. I think right now this is going to be one of those, this fourth down right here with the U.S. having an opportunity to punch it in. This is going to be one of those 2 or 3 plays that define how this matchup will end up.
The U.S. men are coming up next to face Canada, and they have stopped their warm-ups to watch this fourth down from their female counterparts. Madison Fulford going in motion. Higa takes the snap, gets rid of it, finds Foster. Foster makes the catch, front of the end zone, and the Americans are back on top, 33-27.
I mean, right there, that's just trusting the wide receiver as they run the route. You flood one side of the field. And she was able to catch the football right in front of the defender. Higa knew she had to fire that football in there because the defender was right on her back. And she was able to make a spectacular catch. Kennedy Foster, what a play. Coming through big time for your quarterback right there. Big time players, what they say, Kyle, big time players make big time plays in big time games. So look at that. That is one of the 2 to 3 plays that I think will define this contest. We'll see if that rings true.
Kennedy Foster, one of the tallest players on the team, an ideal red zone target, 3-year Team USA veteran. And here's a 2-point conversion attempt from the Americans. Higa into traffic. Fulford fighting for the football but can't hang on. Knocked away, incomplete. And the score remains 33-27, and that was a big stop for the Canadians. Number 30, Samantha Hopkins from London, Ontario. The hand fighting with Fulford there at the end, and she prevails.
Huge play right there, Kyle. 2 minutes to go in this game. What will Team Canada do as this game starts to dwindle down?
Ash Carr remains at quarterback for Rachel Lessard and the Canadians. She rifles it to the far side to Carrion for a nice pickup on first down. Marianne Carrion from Sherbrooke, Quebec, played rugby, soccer, basketball, and track and field in high school. Multi-sport athlete, to say the least. She has been very active out here today offensively for the Canadians. Clock continuing to run. Coming up on 90 seconds to play. And Ash Carr fires it to the near sideline. Catch made by Laura Molimar. Short gain brings up third down. In the final 2 minutes of each half, we are on a pro clock, and the clock will stop to award a first down or change of possession to complete a penalty when a player goes out of bounds, when a pass or a fumble hits the ground, or of course for a score. Here's Ash Carr, third down, across the middle, and a heads-up play right there by number 15, Caroline Moukan-Jobert. They call it short lining in flag football. They stop short of midfield to give themselves an extra down in theory. That'll bring up fourth down. You might be wondering at home, why not get the first down?
Yes.
But in flag football, with the ability to get short yardage with relative ease, you see the Americans playing off defensively right here. Now Ash Carr, there's a little bit of confusion for the Canadians offensively. Here comes Molimar in motion. It's a quick handoff to Moukan-Jobert. for a Canadian first down.
And right here, they're trying to run clock because they feel confident that they can get down and score. They've been doing it all day long, and they want to leave the U.S. as little time as possible if they are to get the football back. So we'll see if Canada does indeed have the remedy to be able to get one in the end zone.
40 seconds left to play.
40 seconds left to play, Kyle.
That is an eternity in high-level flag football. And the Americans hoping for a stop. Here comes the rush. Ashkar gets rid of it to Carrion. Carrion makes the grab, but immediately her flag is taken. And a diving stop made that time by number 25, Linnea Bryant.
Here we go. Canada looks very calm and composed as they go down the field. You wonder if some of what they saw yesterday in that joint practice is starting to come into play here as they are recognizing what the Americans are trying to do to them defensively and acting accordingly.
So now coming out of a timeout, Saeed Mortazavi and the American coaching staff sending players on and off, getting the right personnel on the field. It's number 21, Nikita Christopher, coming onto the field out of the timeout. Nikita Christopher, first-year Team USA athlete, Florida native, got to the sport a bit late, but her dynamic athleticism allowed for her to make this roster. Now, they are very excited about her future at just 29 years old. 35 seconds remaining here in the second half. 33-27. The Americans have played far from their best football here this afternoon, but they are holding on to a 6-point lead. But the Canadians on the march. Second down. Ashkar knocked away. What a play.
Very athletic pass breakup right there by Goodwin. Now, if you're Canada, you've got 2 downs to get this football in.
Lauren Goodwin, 32 years old, former WNBA player, Big 12 star at Oklahoma State, made the transition to flag, and you saw the reason why right there. Here's third down. Ashkar, complete to number 15, Caroline Mukanjoubert. Stopped short of the goal line, about 5 yards out, and a timeout taken by the Americans. It'll be fourth down coming up for the Canadians. And by far the biggest play of the game coming up here in just a moment. Canada will have one shot to get into the end zone here, barring a penalty. And the Americans looking for their biggest stop of the day, hoping to preserve the lead and ultimately a win. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant here with you on Home Team Network, the USA Football Rivalry Series here on a picturesque Friday evening in Southern California. I would say, as expected, the Americans and the Canadians coming down to the wire. They've done this quite often over the last couple of years. We talked about it off the top of the broadcast. They know each other well. Obviously, the American talent pipeline has grown leaps and bounds in the last couple of years, but Team Canada also pretty proud of how far their program has come as well.
Yes, they certainly are. And Coach Lassard just talked about before the game just how far the game has come, just the talent level of the athletes out there. These are 2 of the best that we're seeing right now. And here we go, Kyle. This is arguably the play of the game right here, this fourth down. Can they get in and score?
Ashkar barking out instructions, takes the snap in the gun. Here comes the pressure. Rifles it near side. Touchdown, Canada. Caroline Mukanjoubert, sure-handed at the goal line, makes the grab, and we are all knotted up at 33 apiece with just seconds remaining.
What a catch right there. When you talk about clutch moments and needing to come through for your team, for one, what a throw. She fits it into the coverage in between multiple defenders, and the concentration right there by Joubert, Mukanjoubert, to hold on to it. Absolutely phenomenal. Big conversion here.
Massive play coming up once again. 33-all. The Canadians looking to take a lead. Ashkar, front of the end zone. Mukanjoubert again on a crossing route. Makes the grab, and the Canadians are up by 1, 34-33. A back-and-forth affair, and here late, Rachel Lessard's squad showing some resolve, back on top, but still needing a stop to hold off Team USA flag.
And you cannot compare to Gilbert, okay, on that dig route. Absolutely beat her defender across her face. Big catch.
30 seconds remaining. Akemi Higa dumps it off to Macy Johnsich. Johnsich racing to the near sideline, gets out of bounds to stop the clock. And a gain of about 10 yards on first down. Really solid play by the Americans to get this drive started.
This is a big test for young Akemi Higa. As you pointed out, the 17-year-old quarterback for this team. Can she make her mark immediately in this huge contest and come through with a game-winning drive? She's got enough time. Can she execute?
The Americans have their best on the field. Second down, Higa across midfield to Macy Johnsich. First down, U.S.
6 seconds to go, Kyle. Could you ask for a better situation? Could you ask for more drama? Right here, I would imagine Canada is going to guard against the deep ball.
That's what I was going to ask you. If you're the Americans here, 6 seconds in theory is enough time, just barely to run 2 plays.
I think I try to get a little bit closer and then I take my shot. I think that's the only way to do it unless I just have something glaring. But it's got to be a quick decision. It's only 6 seconds, so you don't want to waste too much time here.
Madison Fulford, Ashley Clam, Macy Johnsich, Izzy Geraci. Lined up along the line of scrimmage. Higa pump fakes, and she's sacked before she could get rid of the football. And once again, Jessica Bositon-Penn, who has been a problem from the rusher position all evening long, makes a massive defensive play for the Canadians to seal the win. And there you see it right there. Team Canada celebrating a 34-33 come-from-behind win over the Americans here in game number 1 of our USA Rivalry Series doubleheader. What a play, what a finish. Let's take a look.
I mean, what about the rush right there coming through? We talked about how important those are. And Coach Lessard, she said what type of statement this would make for Canada if they were able to take down the USA as they head into the World Championships in Germany. This is a huge confidence boost for this team. What a performance.
34-33, your final again. These teams very familiar with one another, very likely to meet again later this summer in Dusseldorf, Germany, at the IFAF Flag Football World Championships. And those World Championships provide the opportunity to qualify for LA 28, the Olympics, right here in Los Angeles 2 years from now. The United States, of course, is automatically qualified as the host country. So no matter what, the Americans will be playing in the Olympics 2 years from now. But what a tune-up ahead of the World Championships we just saw right here tonight.
Yeah, that was a great game. Fantastic. Just great competition throughout. There was drama throughout. Man, I hope the next game can live up to this one.
We'll be joined momentarily by Team Canada quarterback Sarah Parker. She played the entire first half for Rachel Lessard, but as we mentioned during the broadcast, both of these teams were hoping to get some looks of younger players and some backups. And that's why we saw Elizabeth Ashkar get the start in the second half. And my goodness, she played extremely well in that second half. We saw the Americans run 3 different quarterbacks out here in this game. So again, we knew this was an opportunity to get reps for a lot of players on the roster, but Team Canada showing off their depth in this game today.
Yeah, but the thing is too, you know, when you roll out multiple players, the job was still to be able to win. And each player came out and they performed admirably when they were given the opportunity. So I think that also has to build more confidence in this Team Canada unit as well as Team USA football to be able to know that, hey, we've got multiple players that we can depend on, and it's not just the top-heavy roster.
Well, the MVP award being presented on the field right there. You see it, Sarah Parker holding the belt as the MVP of this contest. And again, she'll join us on set coming up here in just a couple of minutes. We got a chance to talk to Sarah Parker. You and I did a couple of days ago ahead of tonight's event. And at this point, she is a seasoned veteran for Team Canada and played like it in the first half as number 11 makes her way over here to our broadcast set. We'll get a headset on her and talk about this action tonight. Want to mention again, what a crowd here on hand at Dignity Health Sports Park for this USA Football Rivalry Series Friday night action. And stick around, it will continue as the U.S. men and the Canadian men will go at it in game number 2 coming up here momentarily. Led by the likes of Daryl Hoosh Doucette, Velton Brown Jr., Jadion High, Nico Casares, a loaded U.S. roster. And they'll face opposite of them a Team Canada side that also has shown great improvement from a player development standpoint and overall talent standpoint. They've got former NFL and high-level Division I football talent on their roster as well. We'll talk all about it as we get closer to the men coming up here in just a little bit. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant with you live here on Home Team Network. As Wes is, I'm sure, enjoying himself, hanging out with that championship belt.
Yes.
Presented to tonight's MVP of the U.S. and Canada bout. Team Canada gets the win, 34-33, and we are joined now by Canada quarterback Sarah Parker. Sarah, how you doing? We appreciate you.
I feel great. Thanks for having us. We had an incredible week in Chula Vista, so this really ties the knot to a very good week. So yeah.
So what did you think? You held a joint practice earlier this week together. We hear it was spirited. We hear it was fun, but you came out of that practice thinking what about tonight?
I was really happy with our practice that we had against the U.S. They play a style that's completely different from ours, so I felt like we managed to learn a lot from it, and we managed to adapt, and we showed up here ready. So yeah, really happy about the result.
Yeah, you guys were really rolling offensively. Did you guys just take what you saw last night and you felt very comfortable coming out and playing against this team today, and that's why offensively you guys were able to have so much success?
Yeah, I think we're a very adaptable team. We're very strategic, able to adapt depending on what they show us. They showed us different defenses that we saw at the joint practice. So yeah, I think we did a really good job at steering away from the game plan, and yeah, we did amazing. I'm really proud of us.
So you quarterbacked this team in the first half, right? Then we saw Elizabeth come in and quarterback the team in the second half. Yeah. What does that say overall about this team's depth?
Our depth is incredible. I do not envy my coaches for their choices that they're going to have to make for Germany. Everyone brings so much value to the team, and we just make each other better. So yeah, Ellie is super young. She has so much potential. She's incredible. I learned from her just as much as she learns from me. So yeah, we have a really good quarterback dynamic for sure.
What do you guys take from a win like this? What do you take moving forward to help you guys as you prepare for the World Championships?
I think our team spirit. We work really hard on building a team culture, and I think we showed that today. We were fired up the entire game, supporting all the girls that were on the field, and the energy was amazing. So I think that having that energy really brought us this result. So I'm really proud of us.
Well, congratulations. Go celebrate. Enjoy that belt, and you know, we'll talk to you soon.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Sarah Parker, quarterback, Team Canada. They win tonight. They emerge victorious, 34-33 in Game 1 of the USA Football Rivalry Series. The men are coming up next. The Team USA fellas and the Canadian men in Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader right here at Dignity Health Sports Park. That action coming up just around the bend. Stick around. It's the USA Football Rivalry Series here at Dignity Health Sports Park on Home Team Network. All right. Well, game number 1 is in the books, 33-34, 34-33 that is. Team Canada women knocking off the women of Team USA here in game 1 of the USA Football Rivalry Series, live here on Home Team Network on a Friday night. We are off and running here in Southern California. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant with you, bringing you all the action. Very exciting way to start this event. We've got action all weekend long. I want to remind you that coming up here tomorrow on Home Team Network, we'll have the Select Bowl action. We'll explain that in greater detail, but some of the best young players in flag football across the United States will suit up tomorrow, of course, in pursuit of a championship, but also hopefully to get seen by scouts and members of USA Football with an eye toward the future. So Select Bowl action coming up tomorrow here on Home Team Network. And then on Sunday, the junior national teams will take the stage. The boys 15 and 17U teams, as well as the women's 15U and 17U teams, will have the gold medal matches coming up on Sunday. So a full weekend of elite flag football right here on Home Team Network.
I mean, you can't beat it. This last game right here should give you an indicator of what type of action you're going to see all weekend. Great players, great athletes, great coaching, because like I said, the U.S. has set the tone. They were the tone setters. But then now these other countries, they're starting to catch up as well. So I think that should make for some competitive football, Kyle.
Well, earlier today, as we get set for tonight's action, the head coach of the Team USA men's flag football national team, George Cascudo, caught up with our very own Wes Bryant and talked about what he expects from their opponent, Team Canada, tonight.
I mean, I expect top. You know, that they have 1 year of full experience of flag football right now. They're bringing back an experienced staff, experienced players as well, some from the CFLs. So we had a practice a couple of days ago, and we saw a little bit of what they could bring to the table, and they're very athletic, you know. So I'm expecting the best from them. Last year, this friendly wasn't friendly for us because we ended up losing. They had the upper notch during that time, but we were coming prepared and ready to show them why we should be in the top.
Coach, how do you balance trying to win the game but also trying to evaluate what's on the roster?
Correct. We're still evaluating because we have 18 players, and by the end of the week, we have to cut it down to 12. And during these 3 days of practice and camp that we've had, it's been very difficult to break it down to that 12. So this is probably like the last hurrah for that. So we're breaking it down in different groups to see what our players can perform top-notch against other competition and see what comes out of that. So I'm looking forward to that challenge, and hopefully from there we can decide the 12 that we're going to get.
All right, Coach, we're getting closer and closer to the Olympics right here in Los Angeles. What does it mean to be playing out on this field here in California with the Olympics being right around the corner?
I mean, just knowing that it's going to be here, it's super exciting, you know. So it's two more years from now, but just being part of this is just, it shows how flag football has grown so much, and just seeing the crowd that's going to be and expecting to be for not only for the youth but for the adults as well. Seeing everyone compete, I'm looking forward to it and super excited.
All right, Coach, best of luck to you today.
George Cascudo, a flag football legend, now the head coach, former quarterback of Team USA Flag. The current quarterback, Hoosh Doucette, I would imagine is the player to watch tonight, right?
No question about it. I mean, a 6-year veteran. This guy, he's arguably the face of Team USA flag football. He was the MVP of the Fanatics flag football event, where he had 6 total touchdowns in that event, went 8 for 8. He's a guy that you never know what he's going to say, but you also never know what he's going to do in the pocket with that blazing speed, but he can also throw it out there to all of those fantastic playmakers that he's got at his disposal. So I can't wait to see what this team is able to do tonight.
Yeah, he's a 6th-year veteran of this team. He also has bowled multiple 300 games in his career. That's one of the things you and I first learned about Hoosh Doucette was this guy is not only a dynamic flag quarterback, but he's a heck of a bowler as well. State champion as a bowler as well.
I mean, no question, a man of many talents, but he's going to have to put his main talent, which is flag football, on display out here against a hungry Canadian team that just saw their women get a huge victory. So you know they want to follow suit. You don't want to be on the bus and you were the loser.
Yeah, you mentioned he was the MVP of that Fanatics Flag Football Classic back in March. Went 8 for 8 with 3 touchdowns and no picks in that event. Also ran for 76 yards and 3 touchdowns. He, of course, had those famous comments now in 2024 that were kind of directed at Patrick Mahomes, but the other NFL stars as well, saying, you basically, and I'm paraphrasing, you know, we're the right guys for this. You know, you're not going to come in and take our jobs. This isn't as easy as it looked. And I think they proved their point at the Fanatics event back in March.
Oh, they certainly did, because the casual fan would have thought the same thing. NFL guys, greatest athletes on the planet, they can come out there and do whatever they want, and that was not the case, and they took care of them.
No doubt about it. Well, let's talk about Team Canada and the player to watch tonight. And while there are a couple, there's one in particular that stands out. Anytime you can put a Super Bowl champion on the field, that's somebody you have to talk about.
I mean, Anthony Auclair goes around 6'5", 6'6", 230 pounds. That's a quarterback's dream, okay?
Yeah.
He wants to be able to have a huge target like that, to be able to want to get the football too. This U.S. team, they've got really great athletes, but really nobody that has that kind of size. So we'll see if they can take advantage of that, get him in some advantageous opportunities down in the red area, or throwing him some 50-50 balls down the field that hopefully he can come up with.
Yeah, Auclair played 6 seasons in the NFL as a tight end. He won a Super Bowl championship with the Tampa Bay Bucks in 2020. That was, of course, the Tom Brady year. Was also drafted by Saskatchewan in the 4th round of the CFL draft. Played at Laval, which is the Canadian equivalent of basically Alabama Crimson Tide football up there in Canada. So he's got pedigree. He's got a great resume. Interestingly, and we'll talk more about this, said he played in the NFL at about 265, 270, had to drop down to 225 to play flag football because of all the running, he told us.
Yes, and so for him to get out there and lose that weight, this is a totally different game. So we know that he feels quicker, a little bit more explosive. That could mean trouble for Team USA football.
No doubt about it. Well, let's hear from the head coach of the Canadian men. That's typically Paul LaPolice, who is a football fixture in Canada himself, also a color commentator on TSN, which is why he cannot be with Team Canada this weekend. And
yes.
Joel Lipinski is filling in on the sideline for him. And Joel Lipinski caught up with our very own Wes Bryant earlier today.
Yeah, well, anytime you have an opportunity to go up against the world champions, it kind of lets us be able to determine where we are and what we still need to learn and where we need to grow on the road to Germany, and ideally the bigger picture beyond that.
All right, Coach Paul LaPolice will not be out there to coach this team. What will be the differences, if any, with you on the sideline?
I guess respective of kind of getting this opportunity here too, obviously I'm grateful. I think what means more than the title is just the trust that he kind of has in me to be able to kind of go this through. But honestly, this isn't about me, and hopefully nothing changes in terms of this process. This is going to be about the players, and again, what they can kind of show us kind of when they're underneath the lights of the big stage.
Coach, Los Angeles is the site for the 2028 Olympics. Flag football will be a part of that. What does that mean to be out here in California, playing here on this field with the Olympics right around the corner?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, hopefully it ends up being a precursor in terms of what we kind of need to do, and again, just kind of get the lay of the land. And again, just anytime you have an opportunity to kind of get comfortable with your surroundings, ideally, if we end up getting the opportunity to come back here too, hopefully that'll be a leg up in terms of us being able to compete here and show our best.
All right.
There you go, Joel Lipinski again filling in for Paul LaPolice this week as he is on TSN duty with the CFL broadcast back up in Canada. And Lipinski getting a big opportunity to lead the Canadians here in game number 2 of the USA Football Rivalry Series here on a Friday evening in Southern California. Live from Dignity Health Sports Park, Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant with you. And the action begins, and Michael O'Connor going up top, showing off the arm. Would you look at that? My goodness, Michael O'Connor, the Ottawa native, once upon a time out of high school, received a full ride from Bill O'Brien and the Penn State Nittany Lions. Ended up transferring back to the University of British Columbia, where he would win a national championship. Played in the CFL for a couple of years and now finds himself as the signal caller for Team Canada.
Yeah, and right there, he tried to establish early on that this Canada team is not going to sit back on his heels. The U.S. bought a great rush right there. He went down the field just a little bit over the head of his receiver.
You see Sean Tharad Jr., the rusher for Team USA football. There's a completion on second down to number 4, Jackson Tuchenski, and he short lines it, or at least attempts to, right about a yard short of midfield. Jackson Tuchenski is the other quarterback for the Canadians when they do run the occasional dual quarterback system. But that is the difference between these two teams. You'll see a lot of dual quarterback from the Americans. But the Canadians, as we were told earlier this week, they've got a true field general, pocket passing quarterback in O'Connor, and they will typically let him run the show.
Yes, no doubt about it, and I'm sure he is glad to be able to do that. That was a nice completion, short pickup for third down right here.
3rd down and 1 as O'Connor rifles it out to James Drysdale along the far sideline. Catch is made for a first down for now, but a penalty flag flies in. Isaiah Calhoun was there to make the stop for the U.S.
And I think this is going to be against Drysdale. A little bit too much contact after the catch right there. So the U.S. catching a little bit of a break after Team Canada picks up the first down.
I mentioned Isaiah Calhoun there on the stop. It's his third year with Team USA flag football. He is the youngest of 11 siblings, and they are all athletes, all 11 of them. His brother James won gold with Team USA at the World Games in 2022. They keep football in the family, and Isaiah Calhoun also had a pick six off of Joe Burrow in that Fanatics flag football event back in March.
Very, very impressive right there when you can get an interception off Joe Burrow.
Fourth down for the Canadians. Here's O'Connor going up top again, showing off the arm, complete for a touchdown. With their backs against the wall, Michael O'Connor showing off the arm strength and finds Francois Rochelot for a shocking Team Canada touchdown on fourth down. My goodness, what a play.
He made the catch as the football was coming down. We see the deep corner route right there. Number 9 from the U.S., he gets a little bit lost in coverage. Justin McMullen, he got lost as the ball was in the air, and it was costly as Canada gets on the board.
After the penalty, the Canadians look to be in trouble. But I think we got our first hint on the opening play of the game as O'Connor has an absolute howitzer for a right arm. And that right arm got the Canadians out of trouble on fourth down. It's 6-0. Here's a two-point conversion attempt. Ooh. And a near collision. It's knocked away by number 3, Mike Daniels, but a flag flies in late.
Interested to see what the penalty is right here. We have the 2 U.S. players collide. I think they picked the flag up. They thought that it was a little bit too much contact right there by the Americans, but it was against each other.
Yeah, a nearly vicious collision there in the end zone. Both players fortunate to emerge unscathed from that. And the penalty goes against the Americans, so now the Canadians will retry the conversion, this time from the 5-yard line. They'll go for one, up 6-0. O'Connor walks up under center, takes the snap, dumps it off on a slant right at the goal line, and he's in. 7-0. The Canadians take an early lead.
I mean, that's the type of plays that it is going to take right there. Eau Claire, we saw him right there using that tremendous size to shield off the defender right there. And he was able to do it with great success, held on to the football. When you got a guy with a big body like that, an NFL background, if he gets his mitts on the football, it's going to be very, very hard to deal with that. And so the U.S., they're going to have to find a way to be able to stop that, especially in short yardage situations in this football game this evening.
So on first down, it's Nico Casares with the first pass attempt of the game for the Americans. And he drops off an absolute dime to Tyler T.D. Davis along the near sideline. Short pickup on first down. Casares, a Miami native. It's on second down. Once again, this time over the middle to Velton Brown Jr. An all-Florida connection right there. Brown, an Orlando native. And Casares, third-year Team USA quarterback, Miami native, former high school quarterback down there in the talent-rich area of Dade County, where in high school he was a 2-time conference offensive player of the year and a 4-time conference champion. Second team All-Dade County. If you are second team All-Dade County, you're doing something in that part of the country.
That means you can play some football. I knew from the minute I saw this young man that he was a baller. He is excitement. He is just an explosive football play waiting to happen.
Here's third down, and Casares again going to the far side this time, and it's bobbled but caught. Did he get his feet inbounds? T.D. Davis does in fact make the catch. According to the far side judge, it'll be first down for the U.S. national team.
Yeah, the Canadians thought maybe he bobbled that one right there as we go back and look at the replay, the dig route all the way across the field, but he's able to gain control before he gets out of bounds. First down, Team USA.
T.D. Davis, the son of former Raiders running back Clarence Davis, who made the famous Sea of Hands catch in the 1974 playoff win over the Miami Dolphins. It was ranked number 17 on the NFL's 100 greatest plays list.
I mean, that was a great special. I watched every bit of it, so that's got to be pretty cool.
First down for the U.S. Casares to Hoosh Doucette. Great hands catch along the near sideline. Tries to get away from a couple of Canadian defenders, but has his flag pulled by Marc-Antoine Dequoy.
Hoosh Doucette showing his versatility right there, being able to come through at the wide receiver position, making his presence felt. Nice grab right there. Nice play after the catch to make the defender have to work for it. He's going to make you earn that flag when you try to take it off of his waist.
There's Jadion High lined up to the far side of the formation. Casares fakes the handoff to Doucette, goes to High inside the 5-yard line. Short pickup, that'll bring up 3rd down and goal for Team USA.
And when you look at Team USA as they go down the football field, Nick Casares, he's just calmly guiding his troops back down. This is a veteran group. You can see it early. They are not rattled by Canada coming out and applying pressure early.
8-0. Canada on top. In case you're a bit confused by the conversion, the Canadians did attempt a 2-point conversion. Is right there. The Americans streaking in for a touchdown. Hoosh Doucette putting 6 on the board for the U.S. And the Americans will try the conversion here momentarily, but after the Canadians scored their opening touchdown, they were attempting a 2-point conversion. The U.S. committed a defensive penalty which moved up Canada 5 yards, but it was still a 2-point attempt. The Canadians cashed it in, so it was 8-0 prior to that play. A Hoosh Doucette touchdown has made it 8-6. And now the Americans will attempt the equalizer and a 2-point conversion of their own. Velton Brown Jr. in motion. Casares wide open. Velton Brown loses his defender and makes the catch to tie it up.
And there you go. That's Velton Brown just taking advantage of his athleticism. You give this young man a 2-way go on a route. He's going to be very difficult to be able to deal with. As we watch the replay, just ran that route to the corner pylon, made the grab. U.S. answers, and now Canada, it is your turn right here.
They call Velton Brown Jr. Boomin'. That's his nickname because of that big playability as the Canadians are right back at it offensively, and Michael O'Connor wastes no time going back to his big target, Anthony Auclair. Auclair, as we mentioned, Super Bowl champion with the Bucs, made his first career NFL touchdown grab on October 10th, 2021, as he was playing for the Houston Texans. Caught a pass in traffic from Davis Mills and a 25-22 loss to the New England Patriots. Auclair told us that despite having a nice long run in the NFL, the injuries really wore him down.
Yeah.
And led to the end of his professional tackle career. But now flourishing in the flag game is there on 2nd down. O'Connor, just a missile. The way the ball jumps out of his hands is noticeable right away. Looking for Jackson Tuchinski, but incomplete.
You could tell O'Connor right there, he waited till the last minute to make a decision, and that's why that throw came out of there so late. The receiver was late reacting to it. So a wasted down right there for Canada, as they've got 2 downs now to get a sizable 1st down amount here.
Michael O'Connor, the Canadian quarterback, cool factoid, was the very first Canadian to ever play in the Under Armour All-American game.
Okay, that is quite a fact right there, Kyle.
Here's O'Connor going up top for Auclair, picked off. Number 8, Lennox Howard, the Florida native, battling with Auclair, and comes down with the first interception of the game.
Yeah, that was a tough throw right there from O'Connor, because with the receiver like Auclair, you want to be able to put that ball up as high as you can. When you have a size difference like what you had out there, because he just ran a 9 route. He just ran a go. And so he had to fight and come back inside. It was too low. It was too to the inside, to the advantage of Howard to be able to make that interception. When you throw it up for Auclair, you just got to get that thing as high as you can. Let him high point it right there. So that was a tough pass right there, and he paid the price, giving up an interception.
They call him Yoshi from Mario Kart because he runs around smiling all the time, and he's no doubt smiling after that big play interception to give the Americans the football back. And on 1st down, it's a quick hitter completion to number 4, Laval Davis, the 33-year-old from Jacksonville, Florida, 5th year with Team USA flag football, one of the fastest players and best deep threats on the team. And it's 2nd down for the Americans, and Nico Casares continuing to lead this team at quarterback. Hoosh Doucette in the slot. He goes in motion to the far side. Casares surveying, has time, rifles it to Davis. Davis across midfield. And his flag is pulled, but it's a first down for the Americans.
I think one of the things that you see with this U.S. team, they've got so much speed. The way this team is built, short players that are just explosive, dynamic athletes. You've got to give them the proper room because you don't want to get beat deep. So you're going to give up underneath routes right there. And we see them taking advantage of that early and often right now.
Anthony Brisebois with the stop that time for Team Canada. But again, a fresh set of downs for the Americans. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant with you live on Home Team Network here on a Friday evening. Game 2 of the USA Football Rivalry Series here in Carson, California. Casares finds Brown. Look at the breaks. Stops, cuts, and dances into the end zone. He's booming out there, y'all. Velton Brown Jr. with his first touchdown of the game. My goodness, his ability to stop on a dime and change directions. We saw that in the Fanatics Flag Football Classic in March, and you could tell the NFL guys, both current and former, took notice of Velton Brown Jr.'s athleticism right away back in March.
I mean, I told you the minute I saw him, any cat that smiles as much as he does, you already know that he's going to be a problem. But that is what you come to see. He is what you would call box office right there. That is a play of the day type of play right there. I don't know if we'll get one better, but he just absolutely showed how dynamic he is, running that dig route, breaking over across the middle, and then after that, you've got a guy that he splits the defenders with a spin move. That's what you pay your money to see, folks.
And the aggression continues. Up 14-8. The Americans will go for 2 again. A handoff to Housh Doucette. Back corner of the end zone. But a bit off the mark. Falls incomplete. Intended for Davis. But the Americans remain on top by 6.
Housh Doucette right there. Got a little bit too excited. I guess his first pass of the day, he was a little bit too hyped right there. He fired that thing. He tried to throw it the El Segundo kind.
Housh Doucette, 36 years old, told us that he's taking his training a lot more seriously. Not that he didn't take it seriously before, but with the Olympics still 2 years away, you know, Housh is in great shape at 36, but he wants to remain that way in this final run to the Olympic Games here in LA. Michael O'Connor and the Canadians back at it offensively. And that pass too high, incomplete, intended for Francois Rochelot.
O'Connor got to get that accuracy in check just a little bit on that last pass to Eau Claire a couple of passes ago. A little low and to the inside, and then right there he goes a little bit too high to the outside. He's got to just calm down just a little bit. One play at a time.
O'Connor sets the offense. Anthony Auclair in the slot this time. Here comes the pressure. Batted away and then knocked away. What a heads-up play right there, but nearly picked off. Number 5, Amir Brown, got his hands on it twice, but it's an incompletion.
And that's just the way this U.S. defense operates because they've got so much speed on the field. He was all over that route, and that ball was behind the receiver. He was behind Auclair right there, and he gave the defender time to catch up. He gave Brown time to be able to make a play on that. He's lucky that's not going the other way.
Well, Amir Brown nearly had an interception there, but he did pick off Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts back in March at the Fanatics event.
That's more of a reason to be on point and on time when you're throwing in his direction.
Amir Brown is a ball hawk. Here comes the pressure again. Calhoun showing off the arm. Busted coverage, but incomplete, and that should have been 6. Francois Rochelot was 20 yards beyond the nearest defender, but O'Connor's ball, we'll check the replay here. I'm not sure if it came off his hand funny or if Rochelot just read it wrong in the air, but either way, a blown opportunity for the Canadians.
Well, that was a tough ball because you got the shadows going here. He runs the post route. He's wide open. He gets lost a little bit in the shadows of this football field. But again, he just overthrew him right there.
I'm glad you said about or talked about the shadows there. The sun is finally starting to set.
Out here.
Yeah, the sun is starting to set behind the far bleachers.
You got the lights warming up, but they're not quite on all the way yet.
4th down. We know what happened last time. It's a throwback. Canadians have time. Now it's a deep ball over the middle, intended for Auclair, and it's picked off. Number 9, Justin McMullen, streaking down the far sideline. Pick 6. Touchdown, U.S. 20-8. The Americans have stolen the momentum here in Southern California. And the Miami native Justin McMullen, in his first year with Team USA, makes a big play to extend the U.S. lead to double digits.
Let's just call it what it is. The United States, they're the most explosive football team in the world when you talk about the type of plays they're capable of making on both sides of the ball. So that means that you cannot afford to have these mistakes. You can't be too high. You can't be late. We saw it right there going to Eau Claire. Again, his size is negated when the football is not where it needs to be. It bounces off his hands. And when you get one of these athletes in space, it is going to end just like what it did right there. So Team Canada right now very much in a dangerous area of this game. But the U.S., you could tell this team was confident. They were ready to go. They were bouncing around before this game started. They were dancing to the music. This is a loose group, and they're ready to make plays, and we've seen it all day.
Justin McMullen with the pick six right there. He played at Booker T. Washington High School in Miami. His senior year had 43 tackles, 2 picks, 9 pass breakups, and a blocked punt. That earned him a scholarship opportunity at Western Carolina with the Catamounts up in Cullowhee. He said things didn't quite work out for him there as Hoosh Doucette is streaking up the middle on the conversion attempt and cruises into the end zone, put 2 more on the board, and the Americans go up by 14. It's 22-8. But Justin McMullen spent a year at Western Carolina, said it didn't work out there, and then he took a break from football essentially for about a year and a half. His brother James won gold with Team USA at the World Games in 2022 and convinced Justin to give it a shot. And his twin brother Joshua, that is. And McMullen rediscovered his love for flag football, or football in general, by playing flag. And now here he is with the U.S. men's national team playing at the international level.
Kyle, you took away my opportunity right there. I wanted to say that Hoosh Doucette went whoosh up the end zone, up to the end zone.
You can say that as much as you like, my friend. Something tells me you'll be saying it again soon.
Yeah, a lot of times you can go whoosh. He went whoosh right up there, showed just the difference in athlete. I mean, you can see it right here, but also, too, yeah, when you talk about just the athleticism that they have, look at this right here. A two-way go for Hoosh Doucette. He sticks that foot in the ground.
No shot.
Goodbye to number 22, Maxime Lavallee. He almost made him lay on the ground with that juke right there. Hoosh Doucette, what an athlete. I mean, he looks like this is a guy he knows that players are on his heels to want to be on this team. So he's going to continue to show out every opportunity that he gets.
What a great crowd on hand. You see some of that in the background there. The DJ doing a great job keeping the crowd here in attendance.
Hey, he's playing some jams.
Moving and excited. What a great atmosphere for Game 2 of the USA Football Rivalry Series. Again, both national teams from the United States and Canada tonight. Tomorrow's Select Bowl action. We'll be with you starting at 11 a.m. throughout the rest of the day here on Home Team Network. We're looking forward to seeing you there. And then on Sunday, the junior national teams take the stage here on the championship field, vying for gold. Down by 14, the Canadians back at it offensively, and Michael O'Connor finds the Super Bowl champion, Anthony Auclair, on first down for a short gain.
I think it's important to point out, though, that Team Canada is far from out of this game. They are down 2 scores, but if they can go down right here, put some points on the board, put a touchdown and a conversion on the board, they are still very much in this football game, folks. So don't turn off the home team live stream. We still got a lot of football to play here.
Yeah, inside of 2 minutes to play. That's an eternity in flag football as O'Connor coming near side, and that throw was just off the mark. He was looking for number 3, James Drysdale. Drysdale, the Terrebonne, Quebec native.
It's a little bit too far outside right there. He wasn't able to corral that deep out route there. Tough.
Yeah, 1:52 left to play, and third down coming up for the Canadians.
2 downs to get a first. You don't have to get greedy right here. If you want to break it in half and get a short gain, you can do that. Or maybe if you want to go deep, you might have that opportunity available to you too.
Drysdale to snap it. Bunch formation along the near sideline. O'Connor gets rid of it just in time. Off the mark. A miscommunication there, it seemed, with Francois Rochelot. I think O'Connor believed Rochelot would be cutting toward the sideline, and Rochelot stayed inside.
Well, let me tell you, you don't have time for miscommunications because Daniel Blair Jr. coming from that rush position, he is twitchy, he's getting off the football, and he is coming. So you better have your decisions made up and figure out that coverage so that you can make a play because that rush also contributed to that incompletion.
Yeah, Daniel Blair Jr., a self-described energy guy. He's the right position as a rusher, and here he comes again in O'Connor's face. O'Connor going up top and misses badly, looking for Auclair. And that swarming U.S. defense was there to get the stop. And they force a turnover on downs. And just like that, the American offense will get the football back with about 90 seconds remaining here in the opening half.
I'd like to see Canada be a little bit more methodical here. I feel like it's too many attempts to go down the football field. He was looking for Auclair right there. He was bracketed in coverage. I think you got to try to, you never lose making a game. And I think for Canada, maybe just try to get some shorter gains to cut down the distance.
Hoosh Doucette at quarterback this time, walks up under center, laterals it back. That's number 14, Pablo Smith, running a little 2Q here, double Q rather, on first down. And that pass was errant along the far sideline, brings up second down.
Good pass rush right there. They were able to really rush that throw by Pablo Smith.
Pompano Beach, Florida native.
Now you notice a theme here with some of their best playmakers. I mean, Florida's long been thought of as one of the best states for high school football. Texas, see a lot of that on this roster as well.
Pablo Smith, by the way, cousins with both Jerry Jeudy and Asante Samuel Jr. Nico Casares.
Pretty good bloodlines.
Throw back to Antonio Coleman, back to Casares. Casares thinks about throwing, stops, and he will. Off his back foot. Did he catch it? He did.
That was a catch.
Wow. Complete to Antonio Coleman. And you got to watch the replay here. Coleman was behind the line of scrimmage with Casares for the throwback option and then sprinted across midfield in time to make that grab for a first down.
I mean, that's a playmaker right there. And what a catch to be able to get under it. Got the hands under the football. Kyle, you pointed it out. He lost his defender right there and was able to get open for a catch. I mean, this has been some spectacular plays on display by Team USA in this first half.
First down, just beyond midfield. Doucette pump fakes, laterals back to Pablo Smith. Pablo pump fakes, runs away from a defender. He's going to tuck it and go. And picks up about 12 yards before his flag was pulled by Anthony Brisebois. A nice gain on first down for the Americans. The clock continuing to roll. We're just outside of a minute to play. And the U.S. leading 22-8 here in the opening half. And you said it, Team Canada's got some impressive athletes, impressive looking guys. But it's the speed and versatility of the U.S. men's national team that makes them nearly impossible to defend.
Yeah, I mean, this is a simple concept. The U.S. has better athletes than pretty much everybody. They choose to put them in space and they apply pressure.
And there you go, touchdown, Hoosh Doucette with a rocket to Antonio Coleman, the front corner of the end zone. And it's 28-8.
And Hoosh Doucette showing you MVP of the Fanatics Classic. He looks like he's gotten even more confidence, as if he needed any more. And he just continues to come out here and impress. He throws a rifle right there into coverage. The defender was bracketed, but he was able to put it only where his guy could get it. Comes from under center. Fires it in there. The U.S. has taken total control of this football game.
Absolutely threading the needle right there was Hoosh Doucette. He's such a dynamic athlete, running the football, playing in the slot, that you can't forget how talented he is throwing the football as well. And there he goes again. A dot across the middle to a crossing Coleman, but he can't quite get to it. Falls incomplete. The score remains 28-8, and the route is on here late in the first half. Now, it's a little early to declare this one over, but the United States has been utterly dominant here in the first half. 2 interceptions to set up scores. 2 interceptions, one being a pick six, I should say, by Justin McMullen.
And you wonder if this team, Canada, might be a little out of sorts without the leadership of Paul LaPolice out there. But maybe these guys have enough time to be able to try to get some points on the board, get some positive momentum going into the half.
Laval Davis applying pressure on first down. O'Connor gets it away and finds James Drysdale, the center, for a 5-yard gain on first down. And he steps out of bounds to stop the clock. It's a pro clock inside of 2 minutes, just as a refresher. And now here comes second down. Laval Davis getting his first action of the day as the rusher, raises his hand. The U.S. trying to get set defensively. Here comes Davis. Deep drop for O'Connor, going up top. And it's knocked away, and a flag flies in. Justin McMullen streaking over from the middle of the field to knock the ball away from Rocheleau.
That's a tough call right there. If you're the defender, if you're McMullen, you come across the field, and that, some would argue, maybe is the skillful part of flag football, to where maybe you can make that breakup without getting your body involved. But they tried to go down the football field right there. A little bit of a deep route, comes over. I think he could have made that without getting that body-to-body contact, but either way, hurts him.
It's good ball recognition by McMullen, but a bit too much physicality there at the end. It's an automatic first down for Team Canada, and on first down, O'Connor finds Rocheleau. This time it's complete along the far sideline, although that's being contested by the Americans.
And see, then you wonder right there, you know, where do you draw the line? Because that was a physical pass breakup in and of itself. So how do you determine what you want to call? Because the defenders have to be able to make a play on the football.
And they have, in fact, ruled it incomplete. Mike Daniels winning his protest after the play on the far sideline. Second down for the Canadians. Now with 14 seconds to play. Here comes Davis. Gets there, but the ball gets out in time. And Anthony Auclair was wide open, but O'Connor forced to get rid of it probably a bit quicker than he wanted to. Off the mark, incomplete.
They ran a trips formation to the right, trying to make the zone declare responsibilities there. U.S. stayed steadfast to their zone principles.
And boy, O'Connor just got that away.
He had him there.
Wow.
They flooded the side, but they weren't able to complete the ball. Just a series of just tough plays for Team Canada in this first half.
9 seconds remaining. Here comes Davis again on the rush. Complete to Auclair across midfield. It's a first down for Canada. And the clock stops with 3 seconds left as the Canadians, Joel Lipinski, today's acting head coach for Team Canada, calls a timeout to set up one more play to end the half.
I think if I'm Canada, I maybe run trips to one side with Auclair over there as the decoy. I try to line up maybe my second best one-on-one receiver on the other side and try to go deep to him. That's what I'm going to try to do.
Let's take a look here. Calendar year 2025, last year in the Summer Series right here, Team Canada pulled off the stunning upset, 25-21, a loss that really stuck with the Americans. And then later in the year, the United States getting their revenge, 54-26 over Canada at the IFAF Continental. So there has been some back and forth in this rivalry, but tonight it's been all Team USA national team. As with 3 seconds left to go, O'Connor going up top for Auclair. Two defenders in the neighborhood, and McMullen knocks it away, incomplete to end the half.
I mean, forget a bracket. They just had two defenders just hanging out over there with him. They said, if you go to the bathroom, I'm coming with you. And he tried to throw it up over there, and they were ready for it, because that's one thing that this U.S. defensive back unit has. They have the hops to be able to negate some of the height that a player like Auclair can bring.
What a first half by the Americans, 28-8. It was pure dominance with 20 minutes remaining here in the USA Football Rivalry Series. When we come back, the head man at USA Football, CEO Scott Hallenbeck, will join the broadcast. 28-8, the Americans on top here at the USA Football Rivalry Series on Home Team Network.
For me, the purpose of being a coach, it's always planting seeds, you know, just showing them, you know, what I've learned. Forget about all the noise that's around us. We worry about ourselves and what we have in front of us, right? Let's go. We're together. Let's go. You know, and just hoping that, you know, I left something there that they would understand and cherish. 1, 2, 3. Family.
A dominant first half by the Americans here in Game 2 of the USA Football Rivalry Series at Dignity Health Sports Park in Southern California. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant with you here on Home Team Network. And here at halftime, joined by the CEO of USA Football, Scott Hallenbach's with us. What a first half. What'd you think about that?
That was incredible. And the first game was incredible. I mean, that's exactly what we're looking for. Frankly, we all need more competition. I talked to all the other CEOs of the other federations, and every one of us like, we've got to have more reps, more competition. I mean, even look at our young quarterbacks. We have these amazing young athletes that are up and coming, and we just got to get more reps. And so things like this, rivalry series games, exhibitions, friendlies, this is developing the athletes to the quality of the Olympic movement, right? We got to be, all of us have to elevate up. I mean, we're in the Olympics, so this is really important. It's a great opportunity, and then both teams are showing out.
I mean, when you look at this, by the time we get to the Olympics, but then I'll just ask you right now, I mean, is this the deepest, most talented roster that you've seen from Team USA to date?
That's a great question. I can tell you this, every single time we go from our trials to our training camps, all the athletes tell you first and foremost, like, oh my gosh, this is the hardest trials I've ever been to, the hardest training camp. So simply put, it keeps getting better and better. So I think it is probably fair to say this is the deepest thus far, but we got to keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper. We're building a whole pipeline and pathway from 12 years old all the way up. We're going to the state level and moving to a regional level. This is all tip of the spear stuff, right? We got to build that, get that iceberg all the way down under the water and really understand where all those future athletes and future stars are coming from. So we're looking at that comprehensive development strategy and how we continue to grow it. So we always have the best.
2 years ago, we were all here together, and I said, Scott, man, it's just 4 short years to the Olympics. Now it's just 2 short years to the Olympics. What's that like organizationally as we get closer and closer for USA Football?
See, now you're just terrifying me. I won't sleep again tonight. Yeah, I tell you, I was actually with my board today, and I'm like, they're just 4 years just isn't enough to like get all this figured out. No, it's incredibly exciting. You just see the passion and enthusiasm from everybody here, right? Great showing tonight. There is still a lot of work to do to get this all sorted out, but we're honored to lead the effort and develop this the right way. And we fully understand the responsibility we have to put the best men's and women's teams up against the best in the world and go win 2 gold medals.
And when you see Team USA Football, especially a performance like we're seeing from the men right now, if they continue to keep this up, does this give this, the rest of the world with a couple of years left towards the Olympics, giving them more time to be able to catch up, so to speak, when they see just how dynamic they are?
Yeah, the men's team is truly special and unique, right? I think they have set the standard clearly. On the women's side, I mean, that's a quick example would be China. They've already made serious investments to grow their team. So they're going to be a fast up-and-comer. The rest of the world is catching up really quick, and we have to continue to advance and be a step or 2 ahead of them. That's our goal and responsibility, and we got to keep moving.
Well, once again, you guys have put on a world-class event and can't wait for the rest of the weekend. Scott, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for you guys.
There you go.
Always appreciate you.
Absolutely. Scott Hallenbach, CEO of USA Football. They are leading the charge, and the U.S. men are leading this game by 20. It is 28-8 at halftime. Second half action coming up next. It's the USA Football Rivalry Series on Home Team Network.
The Stars and Stripes Fund turns dreams into reality by supporting Team USA Football and the National Team Development Program. It powers every step of an athlete's journey, from training to competition, and opens doors for more athletes to pursue their Olympic dreams. Your support helps maintain the gold standard and develop future champions. Together, we're building more than a team, we're building the future. Join us at usafootball.com/donate to learn more.
Before America's favorite sport is played in stadiums or seen on TV, it's played in backyards, streets, and parks for fun. It's open to anyone who wants to play. And we're making it safer by training coaches and creating game types for every body. There's a place in football for all of us. When you're ready to move from the backyard to the field, go to usafootball.com/leaguefinder.
(28-8) our score as we enter second half action here at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, home of the LA Galaxy. It's a big soccer week, in case you haven't heard. The World Cup's in town, and everybody's soccer crazy, but in this part of town, it's all about flag football. The USA Football Rivalry Series here on a Friday night. just a little while ago. Team Canada's women dispatching of the U.S. women 34-33. But the U.S. men taking care of business here in game number 2. It's 28-8. And they've got the football back to start the second half. And it's a completion to number 0, Tyler Davis. And he scoots across midfield for an immediate U.S. first down.
And I mean, what looked like a routine catch right there, and you thought the flag was going to be an easy grab. And then he just makes the defense work twice as hard as he makes a series of moves and turns it into a first down catch. What a play.
Tyler Davis, by the way, we talked about him being the son of former Raiders running back Clarence Davis, but Tyler, he paved his own way in the world of football. He played tackle football at Missouri Valley College, the MVC Vikings, where he was the conference's Defensive Player of the Year in 2012. Played professionally in Germany as Nico Casares with a dart on first down, and the catch made by young Jorge Cascudo. Has the Americans inside the 5-yard line. But just to finish that point on Davis, played professionally in Germany, signed a deal with the Miami Dolphins, had a cup of coffee with them, and saw some action in the CFL with the BC Lions before turning to flag football full time. But right there a moment ago, you might recognize the last name, George Cascudo, the head coach of the U.S. men's national team. Jorge Cascudo is his son, and Jorge turns his head just in time to make the grab for a U.S. touchdown on their opening drive of the second half. And Wes, it doesn't get much easier than that.
It doesn't. I mean, he had all the space in the world right there as he was able to just turn his head around and the ball was sitting there waiting on him. The U.S. has come out and made another statement to open this half. And now if you're Team Canada, I mean, at this point, you are just trying to figure out how to stop the bleeding. Can you put some points on the board? Can you try to make this as competitive as possible in the second half?
Yeah, this one has gotten out of hand pretty early, a 20-point lead at the half. And again, the Americans wasting no time, coming out looking for blood here in the second half. A touchdown to Cascudo and now a 2-point conversion attempt. Here's Casares throwing off his back foot, looks for Cascudo again, but knocked away, incomplete. And the score remains 34-8. That was number 5, Emile Chinver.
And Chinver is going to get called there for a little bit too much contact on that pass breakup. Man, that's tough. I mean, defensive backs in tackle football have a hard time with all the pass interference rules. And I think that they, you know, the DBs out here would probably say we share your pain because these pass breakups are very hard to be able to get your hands on the football without being a little bit physical.
So Chinver looked to have a PBU, but instead a defensive penalty moves the Americans up 5 yards. It's still a 2-point attempt. There's a quick handoff and a sidearm throw as TD Tyler Davis makes the grab. Put 2 more on the board. It's 36-8. The Americans on top by 4 scores.
I mean, their execution is A-level out here right now. This crew is just rocking and rolling. I mean, look at the sidearm right there. You talk about arm placement, arm angle.
Well, consider this as well. Antonio Coleman is one of 4 players to throw a pass for the Americans already in this game. Casares, Housh Doucette, Antonio Coleman, and Pablo Smith have all attempted passes, and it's what we talked about in the pregame show. And it's why, quite frankly, with all due respect to Team Canada and all the other teams on the men's side across the world, it's why the Americans have dominated internationally. It's why they performed the way they did against the pros at the Fanatics Flag Football Classic back in March. It's the athleticism, but it's also the versatility and the optionality. You have 4 guys that can throw the football out there, and probably more, if we're being honest. There's a lateral by the Canadians on first down. O'Connor showing off the arm, going up top, catch made for a Canadian touchdown.
There you go.
An amazing throw and an equally great catch by Francois Rochelot for the 2nd Canadian touchdown of the ball game.
And Team Canada said there's no quit with them. What a nice throw and catch right there. Had a penalty on the U.S., but it was negated.
Look at that.
Team Canada will put some points on the board. What a play, because I thought for a second there, the U.S. Lennox Howard, I thought he had an opportunity. Maybe he would catch up to that and break it up, but it was not to be. Nice play right there for Canada. Get some good morale going, get some good vibes going as they try to fight their way back in this game. It's going to be very tough to do it. We got to keep it real now, but hey, as long as you keep playing hard to the whistle, that's all that matters.
Yeah, 36-14, our new score. And not surprisingly, Team Canada will go for the 2-point conversion attempt. Anthony Auclair lined up alone on the left side. Drysdale to snap it. Here's O'Connor. The conversion is good, finds Rocheleau. And Rocheleau cashes in both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. 36-16 is our new score here in Southern California. Kyle Bailey, Wes Bryant with you. Incredible atmosphere here at Dignity Health Sports Park to start the proceedings. At about 5 o'clock this afternoon, fans started pouring in for the women's game at 5:30. Most stuck around for the opening half of this game, but as the Americans have just poured it on, and despite that touchdown, still lead by 20 points with about 14 minutes left to go. I think some of these fans have seen the writing on the wall.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of football left too, Kyle. So there's no telling, this USA team, just because they may sit some guys, their reserves are just as capable as well. So that doesn't mean that the points are going to stop coming from the USA side. So each side going to keep playing hard.
Hoosh Doucette fakes the handoff, goes up top to Velton Brown, drops it in the bucket. And Velton Brown with a Willie Mays grab and cruises into the end zone. And the Americans said, oh yeah, we can do that too. A one-play drive and 6 more points on the board. And it's just a cheat code between Hoosh Doucette and Velton Brown Jr.
I mean, what else can be said about Hoosh Doucette, the way that he's come out and played in this game? How many touchdowns? Is that 4 touchdowns for him? He puts the ball, he just throws an absolute rainbow that falls right where it needs to. He could have put a little more on it if he wanted to.
Little Russell Wilson in that deep ball.
Hoosh Doucette has been absolutely spectacular. He's coming out making a statement right now that he is still here and he is still one of the best flag football players in all of the world.
One of the most accomplished players in the game, one of the faces of men's flag football. We talked about him winning MVP of the Fanatics event in March. He is just Mr. Flag Football here in the United States. The conversion attempt was no good, intended for Velton Brown Jr. Pablo Smith with the pass attempt that time. But off the mark, and the score remains 42-16.
Tried to hit him in the back of the end zone. Our photographer back there in the back of the end zone, she might have gotten a little worried back there that the action might come her way. A little bit too close for comfort. But they weren't able to get the completion right there.
And not to complain, but in true Southern California fashion, we have gone from the sun high in the sky and everybody here sweating and looking for the shade to the sun setting, and all of a sudden the temperature has dropped 15 degrees here on the turf. We got people chattering and looking for a coat here in the middle of June.
Well, that's why I pack my windbreaker, Kyle. I am always prepared. As we see a spectacular leaping grab there by T.D. Davis as the U.S. continues to show why they are the best team in the world.
Wow. After a defensive penalty gave the Americans another crack at the conversion. Not as if they need any help putting points on the board. That time, Pablo Smith with a throw on target, and as Wes said, Tyler Davis climbing the ladder in the back of the end zone. It's now 44-16 for the Americans.
Kyle, I feel like a genius for wearing pants today.
Here's Michael O'Connor on first down. The Canadians back at it offensively, and number 4, Jackson Tuchensky, making the grab. As our great producer Dave Roberts reminded me and stole the words right out of my mouth. Former Manitoba Bison great, former quarterback there. He's QB2 for Team Canada. We haven't seen him with a real opportunity to throw the football here today. Most of that has come from Michael O'Connor, who does have a couple of touchdown passes, but also a couple of interceptions in this game. As a flag flies in. And that penalty will go against the Canadians. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. And second down coming up. And if you're Joe Lipinski and Team Canada, Wes, right now it's about reps and trying to get better with the remaining portion of this game. This USA Rivalry Series bout has no international implications in terms of rankings or qualifications.
But it definitely, leaves a mark.
Yes.
Right? I mean, if you come out and you lose a game in this fashion, you know, it's got to be a little bit disheartening because nobody plans on coming out and getting, you know, decisively beaten in a game. And so you want to be able to come out and at least show guys that you're competitive and that you're ready to go, because we saw the results from the last time these two met, 54-26. Now you're running into another blowout scenario again. So if you're Canada, you want to come back and really show that they've got some players, they can continue to make plays here, and that the next time that they play, the result could be a little different.
And a flag on the play after Michael O'Connor threads one down the near sideline to James Drysdale. Drysdale took some contact from Amir Brown at the end of that play. Seemed to take exception to it just a little bit. But a penalty that will go against the Canadians, will erase that completion and move them back inside the 5-yard line. Clock continuing to run, approaching 9 minutes left to play. A 28-point advantage for the Americans. 3 straight scores to open up the second half here. It was a 28-8 game at the break. And Team USA came right out, scored immediately. The Canadians answered, and then a one-play touchdown drive on a deep ball from Hoosh Doucette to Velton Brown Jr. All of that has us at 44-16. There's O'Connor flipping it back to Drysdale, sprinting up the far sideline, nearing midfield where his flag is pulled by Mike Daniels, the 30-year-old Miami native, there to make the stop. And that'll be a turnover on downs for Team Canada. A costly penalty backed them up to the shadow of their own goal line and unable to cross midfield. So down 28, they'll give the ball back to Team USA.
So Team Canada, that is an unfortunate break right there. You would have loved a chance to be able to put some more points on the board, be able to cut into this lead just a little bit.
And Nico Casares back out to quarterback the team this time. Jorge Cascudo in the game. Jadion High makes the grab on the near sideline. Little duck walk, gets past the defender, and eventually stopped just beyond midfield. I think he wanted to short line and stop prior to the midfield line, but instead takes one step across, and it'll be a fresh set of downs for the Americans.
And if you want to know what a duck walk is, you'll see it here on this replay. That is where you go down, almost doing a lunge, so to speak. If you were working out in the gym, you duck down and try to change the angle of that flag to make it tough on the defense. And for the U.S., it's got to be just absolute nightmarish to be able to try to deal with this team, because routine plays become so much more difficult because of their great athleticism.
Here's Casares, gets rid of it quickly, finds Cascudo crossing toward the far sideline, makes the grab, and a gain of about 12 yards. And you talked about the duck walk there. You know, a guy that you and I both know well, Luke Kuechly, soon to be Hall of Fame linebacker for the Carolina Panthers. Yes. After that Fanatics flag football event, talked about the difficulty of playing defense in this game. And he said, you know, as a former tackle linebacker, you know, I run guys down, I throw my body into them and wrap them around. Yes. But the hand-eye discipline in flag football of being able to grab that flag once you approach a defender is something altogether different, as Jadion High makes the grab across the middle, making it look easy for another U.S. score to make it 50-16. But a penalty flag does fly in late from this far side judge.
I'm wondering what the penalty was right there. Was it a little too much on the celly? I'm trying to figure out. Looked like he said unsportsmanlike. Not sure, though.
No official indication. I think he gave that signal to the press box opposite of us, but it clearly will be a defensive penalty, rather offensive penalty against the U.S.
Skinny post right there by Jadion High.
And what a ball!
He was able to get across the face of his defender. Yeah, the ball was perfectly placed right there. He spins the football as the U.S. continues to pour it on. Look at Coach Rudy Fernandez. He doesn't even have the opportunity to get intense, because this game has been, you know, a little bit lopsided, to say the least. So he doesn't even have a chance to bark at anybody.
That's our guy,
yeah,
by the way.
What's he going to yell about?
Rudy Fernandez is our guy. The only disappointment I've had thus far in this game is that he was not on our sideline.
Yes. So
that we could hear his musings and rantings walking up and down the sideline.
Yes.
Rudy Fernandez is a character now, but also a very accomplished flag football coach out of Las Vegas with the Apex Predators, an organization that he helped to build. Has worked his own way up the coaching ladder, won gold last year with the 17U Junior International boys. And now with the U.S. men's national team, as they are pouring it on Canada here in the USA Football Rivalry Series with 5.5 minutes left to play. And still should be 44-16 as the touchdown was wiped away. And George Cascudo is having a spirited conversation with his guys. We have some heavy deliberation for the officiating crew. They will spot the football at the 15-yard line.
And this is what you do when you're up as much as they are. You go for a one-point conversion from way deep.
Okay, so they have not wiped the touchdown off the board. Much of the deliberation was apparently about the penalty on the conversion attempt. We'll get some real clarification on that. We apologize for the confusion, but either way, the Americans are just pouring it on Canada here in the second half and are cruising toward a massive win here in the USA Football Rivalry Series. As we mentioned last year, and you and I talked about this with some of these guys after what went down a year ago when the Canadians came in here and upset Team USA flag 25-21. The Americans felt that day like they played far from their best football. Didn't feel like they were as focused as they should have been. I know it got a little bit chippy at the end of that game as well. So
yes,
that's a loss that has clearly stuck with them over the past calendar year.
Yeah, and when we talked to those guys, because they were on our flight, and they said the guys just playing too many personal agendas, not staying focused on the goal, not playing Team USA football. And so now this team, sometimes it takes a loss. You hear the age-old adage, it takes a loss sometimes to get you focused, and it feels like that they certainly got this team's attention. And I'm sure for the Team USA coaches, they probably liked it a little bit because now they can go back to the team and say, hey, if you don't do what we tell you, this can happen.
Alex Morgan with a catch there on first down for Team Canada. Jackson Tuchenski quarterbacking the Canadians here late in the game. As we mentioned, former Manitoba Bison, college quarterback. He's got a strong arm himself, and there he goes showing it off again. Back-to-back completions, this time to Danny Vandervoort on second down. Brings up third. Approaching 4 minutes to play here. And again, a reminder, the Rivalry Series doubleheader tonight with the men's and women's from both Canada and the U.S., but tomorrow, Select Bowl action. We'll be live with you starting at 11 a.m. here on Home Team Network all the way through the rest of the day. And then on Sunday, the Junior International Cup. Junior national teams at the 15U and 17U levels, both men's and women's. Their gold medal games. Here's Tuchenski throwing on the run, back across his body, middle of the field. And fortunate that one was not picked off as Tyler Davis was there in the vicinity, got a hand on it, but hits the turf end complete, and that'll bring up fourth down for Team Canada.
All right, like you said, Kyle, if you're Team Canada right now, you're just trying to continue to implement your strategies and keep making sure that guys are, staying within the realm of the offensive and defensive schemes right now, because you can pretty much put a victory out of the window. We know that. So now you just have to keep playing, keep executing, keep learning. Fourth down.
Tuchenski. Here comes Laval Davis. Tuchenski gets rid of it. A diving grab along the far sideline. Daniel Peterman. What an athletic play. And a first down for Team Canada.
Yeah, they said he was out of bounds.
Oh, they're calling him out of bounds.
Yeah,
wow.
They said he was out of bounds right there. His momentum carried him out of bounds.
I have to be honest, the PA announcer got me fired up. I thought he was calling a completion on that side. I thought I saw it incorrectly, but regardless, what an effort by Peterman that time.
Yeah, that was spectacular, but it was just not enough. Wasn't able to get that part of the body, the knee, the leg, inbounds before he could complete that catch.
And now it's Antonio Coleman out to quarterback the Americans, showing off his own arm strength, and rifles one to Isaiah Calhoun on the far side. Isaiah Calhoun, a defensive specialist. That's his primary responsibility for Team USA flag, but In a game like this especially, it allows for head coach George Cascudo to get these offensive reps for guys who might not ordinarily get them.
No doubt about it. And, you know, Team Canada, they're still going to be out there playing hard, so you can still get some quality reps. So for Team USA, this is invaluable experience for some of those reserves. Not to mention, Kyle, these guys are still trying to earn roster spots, so they've got to come out there and put their best on tape.
Well, they also understand the assignment is they're taking all the time in the world before they snap the football, milking the 25-second play clock all the way down. Game clock now inside of 90 seconds to play. And Coleman, again, taking the clock all the way down to 0. Pump fakes, gets rid of it, complete. To number 5, Amir Brown. Brown reverses field, sprints across toward us to the near sideline. And is run out of bounds. That'll bring up 3rd down. 60 seconds left to go in what has been a dominating effort by the United States squad.
I mean, look at that, Kyle. Another routine catch to where you think most games you watch, they make that catch, the flag is pulled.
Yeah.
No, not with Team USA. They take that catch, and he's going to sprint and make you work to get that flag. And if you're not careful, they might house it.
Here's Coleman again from Prince George County, Maryland. Going up top, complete, 1st down. And the catch was made by Laderick Pablo Smith, Mr. Do-It-All for the U.S. He can play quarterback, he can play receiver, he can play defense. One of the many versatile, dynamic athletes for George Cascudo. You see the replay right there. Great route running by Smith. Finds himself wide open and an easy pitch and catch between he and Antonio Coleman.
I think right there, that'll be the final play for this one as Team USA picks up a dominant victory right here. I mean, near flawless day for this team. They made plays on both sides of the ball. Team Canada came out. They established themselves early with a quick touchdown. We thought we were going to have a game, but no, Kyle, it was not to be. Team USA took over after that and never looked back.
An absolutely dominating win by the United States, 50-16. They got started early. The Canadians looked like they had something when the game began. Michael O'Connor, Anthony Auclair, guys like that, Jackson Tuchinski, a very impressive looking bunch and no doubt talented as well. But the United States just on a different level here this evening. Big offensive plays, of course, but also big defensive plays, multiple interceptions, including a pick 6 by Justin McMullen, the newcomer in his first year out of Miami. And this United States team is just deep and fast and talented. And George Cascudo has made the joke with us in private conversations before, but it does make coaching a whole lot easier when you have this stable of athletes to work with.
I mean, when you have guys that are so versatile, you know, in basketball, they call them 3-level scorers. The U.S. offense, they can hurt you at 3 levels. They can take the short pass and take it deep. They can take the intermediate pass and take you deep. And then they can actually go deep and be able to beat you there. And then defensively, they're so quick. They communicate so well. They're always around the football. And they have some of the athleticism that negates size to where they can jump with their tallest offensive threat. But they're also quick enough to be able to keep up, close windows. This is a team that does not have many flaws.
No. And, you know, listen, when you have the best athletes in the world, oftentimes games look exactly like this. And well, the Americans, as you see right there, celebrating a massive lopsided win, 50-16, here in the USA Football Rivalry Series bout with Team Canada. We await our post-game interview. I believe we could be talking with Mr. Boomin himself, Velton Brown Jr., who made multiple big plays in this game today. He's currently celebrating with his teammates while he does. Just another reminder that earlier here this evening, Team Canada did get a W. They did notch a win here in this doubleheader. The women knocking off the United States women 34-33 in a dramatic come-from-behind win in game number 1. But the men following that up by redeeming the red, white, and blue with a massive blowout win here at Dignity Health Sports Park, where we will be all weekend long for USA Summer Series right here on Home Team Network. And the USA Summer Series is a 4-day event, elite flag football events here at Dignity Health Sports Park. World-class competition, some of the best teams and athletes on the planet. And this is and will continue to be a last evaluation point before the final 12 athlete rosters are announced, because all of this is coming to a head so quickly. I mean, it's 2026. It still feels like a long time before the Olympics roll around in 2 years, but you and I both know it's not. And there's a lot of work to do, as Scott Hallenbach told us during halftime. You know, they're in a great place right now organizationally, but, you know, in order to ensure gold 2 years from now, they feel like they need to keep climbing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And so this is just another opportunity for these guys to come out and show why that they should be on the team and take one next step towards the Olympics in Los Angeles. But that's exactly what this is. This is another step. There are going to be younger players that are hungry, that are going to be coming up from the lower ranks, that are going to challenge some of these guys. So your spot is not safe or secured, even though this team, I mean, they have so many guys that can make so many plays, especially this young man that we're about to have coming up here right now.
Mr. Boomin himself. Look at that. These championship belts are awesome. We'll make sure to get a camera shot of this. We saw the one earlier when we talked to Sarah Parker of Team Canada after the first game of this doubleheader. And now our guy, Velton Brown Jr., out of Orlando, Florida, nicknamed Boomin, 4th year with Team USA flag football, and put on a show here once again this afternoon. Velton, it's good to have you back. We talked to you a year ago under certain, similar circumstances. How do you feel about the effort out there today and the way your team played against the Canadians?
I feel better than last year. I feel great. We prepared really well. We kind of went more intense on communication, making sure that we understand if it's one play doesn't work, it's an audible to that, keeping everybody involved and stuff like that.
When the plays are, just coming in droves, but walk us through the touchdown that you had right there where you split the defenders with the spin move. I mean, do you even feel bad for the defenders when they're at your mercy?
No, remember that combo? Like, anybody can get it, It's a killer mentality. So I believe we had like an overthrown pass. I got a sub. I went from center, and he gave me like a China route. I love a China route. You're going to have to chase me regardless. So when I caught the ball, in the peripheral of my eye, I kind of seen him overrunning me. So that's what made me stop and like turn, but kind of looked at him. And then after that, I kind of seen the two guys, and then it was kind of more open field to my right side, so just gave him a little love tap,
I get so entranced by watching Hoosh run around, just like you, but just, watching Hoosh zipping around. But then I watch him drop that ball in the bucket to you over here. What a throw.
Oh, yeah.
And you're putting on your best Willie Mays, catching it over your head while you're out there.
We lined up. I had a different route. Actually, I wasn't supposed to do that route at all. But when he walked down, he was like, if they have no safety, just go. And then so he's just like, I didn't want to overthrow you. I just wanted to, like, baby touch the ball.
And talk about Hoosh, man, just the cat that he is, the elder statesman on the team, but he continues to come out and just play his best when his best is called for.
Yes,
let's talk about the game that he had out there today.
He had a great game. I'm not sure if people paying attention, but he's a world-class athlete, so great leadership. He makes sure everybody, no matter if you're on the 12, the 18, or just the outside looking in, he always gives great advice. He always holds himself to a standard to make sure that we keep the same standard as well.
With the World Championships on the horizon coming up later this year and all the things that you guys have on the calendar, what does a win like this do for your confidence, your momentum, and what you're building toward?
It was great. It kind of just shows what we talk about in our group chats, what we do in the walkthroughs, and then intensity, scenarios, and things like that. We're in the right direction.
That's awesome. Velton Brown Jr., they call him Boomin', and they were booming out here offensively today.
Man.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The MVP of the USA Football Rivalry Series blowout win over Canada, 50-16. The Americans get it done here at Dignity Health Sports Park, and that guy, Velton Brown Jr., was a big part of the reason why. We got a full week ahead of us. You and I are going to be back here tomorrow and Sunday calling a lot of great flag football action, but what a start to the weekend.
I mean, no question about it. We got to see the dominance of the men, and then we saw, Team Canada from the female side of this thing. They came out, they played a great game against Team USA football. So we had some great action. Can't wait to see what else is in store for us this weekend.
No doubt about it. Select Bowl action begins right here tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. We hope to see you there. And don't forget the Junior International Cup on Sunday. It is a weekend full of the best elite flag football action from all over the world. And we hope you'll be here to join us and take it all in. Final scores tonight, Team Canada women beating the Team USA women 34-33. And the American men with a blowout victory 50-16 over the Canadians. We appreciate everyone involved in the broadcast, and we'll see you tomorrow. It's the USA Football Summer Series right here on Home Team Network.